Welcome back to Collider Live. Roxy had a moment right before we went on air, and yeah, we'll talk about it. It's Collider Live. It's Wednesday. Big guest coming in the house today. If you're a fan of the show Psych, that's right. James Roday is coming in to talk to us, and we are. Look, people are getting pretty excited about that. Big show Psych, and
people in the office
what's going on with the movies, and a million little things. So we're going to talk to him. Mark Riley is here.
Hi.
You missed what Roxy did just now.
No, I did.
It was
weird. Right before we went on the air.
Conceded.
Like right before we went on the air. We're sitting here, and we wait for the sound to come in so the fans know that we're live, and we know that we're live. And so I'm getting ready to make some ridiculous face, like, shit rat face or something. And she looks at me, she goes like, did you just take a picture of me? I'm like, I don't even have a camera in my hand. I'm like, how did with what? With the camera inside of my head?
I don't know.
We have technology now. I just took a picture of you.
Yeah.
And it's uploaded on the cloud.
I remember I got in trouble once because I was working at an office where there was somebody who it was like 10 years ago, and he was much more famous than I was. And I was sitting doing desk work, and I took a screen grab of what was on my screen to send as an email, and he turned around and said, "Did you just take a picture of my ass?"
Oh.
And
he was legit.
And I was
serious?
like, no. Oh my God, no.
Who was this?
And he was like, let me see your
the click?
I can't tell you.
You can't say who it was?
He was like, let me see your computer. Let me see it. And I was like, oh, no.
Well, he was famous at the time?
That's a screen. More than I was. I wouldn't say famous, but I was like, oh, no. It was a screen grab, but you can't see what it was of because it was of somebody else's contract.
Right.
And he was like, if it wasn't my ass, let me see it. And I was like, oh,
is this
God.
real?
Yeah, this was real.
What the hell's going on?
What do you mean?
I don't know if he was like serious. Was he serious? Was he serious?
Yeah, he really thought I took I don't even know on a computer how you would.
No, but
I would have
why
had
does
to
he have,
turn it around. I don't
so
know.
Weird.
I know, but I just had that moment, guys.
Some people are weird.
I thought about that last night in general too, because like I said, I've been writing a lot of stuff in my head, potential stand-up stuff, and
That's
look
one
at
of
that.
But no, I was
You
just
got to
thinking.
take out the Rocky V thing from your stand-up set.
Oh no, I'm gonna put it in. Are you kidding? Yeah, don't
That
come.
reminds me.
No, don't come, because I'm gonna do it. And
Don't come to what?
The show.
I'm not invited?
No,
Can I go?
absolutely not.
Yesterday
where it is.
on Twitter, what's our friend's name? Ash
Crossan?
Yeah.
Good friend of yours, huh?
No,
You don't even know her
I
last
just met
name.
her at Comic-Con this year, but I know she's your guys'
Yes,
friend.
Ash Crossan.
She was randomly on Twitter saying to somebody, can I come to an event?
Right.
And a bunch of Collider Live fans were like, don't take Roxy's fucking catchline.
Like,
Catchphrase, don't go.
No one's allowed to say that now except you.
Collider
So
Live
fun.
Army.
It's the
They're
truth.
there.
No,
Oh,
but they're
well,
not.
in a
let's talk
pinch.
about that. So listen to this. We talked about it yesterday, and if you weren't on you didn't see the show or hear the show yesterday, you should know that there's a rebranded Facebook page. It's the Collider Live official group, formerly known as Schmoville. And I'll tell you what. We had almost 1,000 new members yesterday. Almost 1,000 new members popped into that, and I saw a lot of great activity. I posted a picture. Oh yeah! Thank you so much. I posted yesterday a little meme of Simba looking at the Pride lands as they were destroyed. Said that was the group a couple of days ago, and then them looking at the Pride lands flourishing, and that is what the group was yesterday.
Who's Simba?
What?
Are you?
Oh, I thought you meant legit. Like, what are you talking about?
Donald
I'm
Glover.
just saying in general.
Yeah.
It's just them looking at it, seeing this wasteland. That's right.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Yeah, that's correct. 2 points.
Matthew Broderick.
3 points. So
Got it.
anyway,
Show off.
but somebody was like, "Why are you antagonizing the group?" I'm like, "Come on, guy, shut up." It's like
I was
stupid.
loving the group in the last
They were
24
great.
hours.
It was great.
I was getting tagged in things left and right. I'm commenting along. I'm looking at ish. Like, yeah.
It's like
God bless you.
it's active again. And there was one Thad and I today, and I don't know if Thad did it on purpose. Both used the same Tommy Lee Jones gif of the fugitive of I don't care. I think because Kalinowski made some comment about Emma, because Emma approved, by the way. Kevin Smets and Jay Washington are going one-on-one in the Inner Geekdom. That's going to happen in a couple of weeks.
Good luck, Jay.
Yeah, so
He's going to
He's going to get
Smashed
Yeah.
is the Smasher.
Sorry, dude. I love
Gronk
you, Jay.
smash.
but-
He's playing the Smasher. That's his name, the
Yeah.
Smasher.
Jesus.
Look, don't count Jay Washington out. Jay Washington was supposed to lose to Burnett, didn't?
Yeah, that's true.
Burnett was the champion. So
But from what I've seen of this guy, this
Yeah.
Smets is
Kevin
pretty
Smets
nasty.
guy.
was
he's like Goldberg.
Jeez,
yeah,
man.
I mean,
that was
Yeah.
impressive.
He was, but they.
I'm
look,
not trying to
they've had-
talk smack about my boy Jay, but
Kevin was intimidating. There's no doubt about it. And Jay challenged him. So look, there's a great Twitter exchange between Smets' manager Kaiser and Jay Washington talking a lot of smack. And Emma goes, "That's enough. Let's just get this match done."
Yeah.
So the match is
why
done.
did you guys use the GIF though?
That's what I was getting to. So Kalinowski wrote to Emma and said, finally, a commissioner with some balls. And Thad wrote, and someone wrote back. They go, "Hey Thad, what do you have to say about that?" And Thad put up the GIF. I don't care.
Perfect.
This morning, I don't mind if there's critiques on the show and the fans when someone says, "Look, I love when they do this, but I'm not really. I'm gonna skip part of it when they're talking about X or this." That's fine. That's part of being a fan of anything. It's like we were talking about it before. Like you tried to get into the Bachelor, and we'll talk about that in a second. But there are things that it just doesn't interest you, right? And you should be able to say as much. But what you shouldn't do is post inside and tag me in a post and go,
God.
Don't you think Chris is talking so much about wrestling these days? Talking about the wrestling? Personally, I've had enough of it.
and I'm like, fuck off. I was like, if you've had enough of it, it's like, who are you? It's like, I don't care, don't watch it. Everyone else is like, don't watch it.
When they tag us and then they say mean things, do you think they think they're being less cowardly? Is that what's happening?
I don't know what it is. It's because, again, it has nothing to do with, because then I saw some great responses. And this one guy goes, look, I don't like when I talk about it either. I mute it at that point and I go watch something else, or I use the time codes and I find something else, but I wouldn't put that. That's what the guy said. And I was like, that's the response.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the human response of just like, yeah. Like it's one of those things, just like if you know that you're interacting, it's a different place if it's just like I'm bored somewhere. This is the group. This is what we tried to talk about yesterday, the difference between this group. Just be positive. Because I don't expect everyone to like that. The same way, someone said, I don't like when they play the songs all the time. So, but I know Christian likes it, so I'm just going to have to deal with it. That's the show. That's the show. But this is like,
And I'm sick of it. Or I've had enough of it.
I don't care about what you've had enough with, guy. So
I wish that we could do gifts back on YouTube comments. Can you not do
yeah.
that? Because I haven't been able to.
It's my favorite thing to do. That's the only way I respond now to things.
Yeah.
And it was the other thing that I saw this morning was that some guy was talking to his friend, and the guy said something. His friend said something, and the guy hit him with the win a goldfish here.
Mm-hmm.
And
Perfect.
yeah, and the guy writes back. He's like, "Huh?" and he's like,
I love when they don't get it.
It's the best. And he's like, it's from Collide Live. And he's like, what episode? And I wrote back all of them.
All of them, literally all of them.
Yeah. And so but my point is that has, for pun intended, I guess, reeled some people in.
Yes, it has.
So anyway, Roxy, your hair looks wonderful this morning.
It does.
What?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Done with you.
No, you shouldn't be, because that's exactly what I was going to say on the show.
You weren't going to say it.
How many times have I complimented your hair on the show? Whether it's purple?
Yeah,
or,
you have. That's
right?
true. But you usually will say something to me when I walk in.
Not true. I usually do it on the air
Well, then
because
I forgot
because I
that.
don't really feel it. I want people to think that I do, so I say it on the air. Yeah.
But nobody said anything to me today. I spent a lot of money on my hair yesterday.
I remember talking to you about
lot
it.
Why do you
of
lead with that?
money.
Why do you lead with that
With how
on
much
the
money
tweet?
I spent?
Yeah, because you don't. I mean,
It looks
Because
great.
that's
does
why
look
I
good.
get upset about it.
because you spent so much and
So
you want
much
compliments
money,
on it.
yeah.
I understand.
I
So
want-
you spend it. You want to
'cause,
see the
like,
results.
Because the thing is, when you go from brown to blonde, everybody complimented me. Or when I went from blonde to pink. But now that I'm doing a little bit of maintenance, it still costs a lot of money.
But it looks good.
Well, I just want I need reassurance.
I feel like
I want
more-
the feedback.
Well, you should get it from some of your female
That's
friends.
what I
I'm
was
sure
just gonna say.
I saw
will pick
Perry.
up on it because
I was like, "Hey, Perry,"
and she just walked
what's
by.
up, Perry?
I think
How's
Perry.
your, and I was like,
I
"How's
don't
your
think
day
Perry
going,
thinks
Perry?"
about anything except work.
Yeah,
and her cat.
And Perry was like,
Yeah.
I'm all right."
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, what's all right mean, Perry?"
You know,
I had a legitimate conversation I had with Perry.
I think if you-
I went
I
over
think
to
if you-
Dorian, I said hi. I went over to Cobster, I said hello.
Dorian hasn't seen Goodfellas. Dorian.
That's
Yeah,
true.
you think he'll see
But
your
don't-
hair?
I
Yeah.
got to tell you, there weren't that many women sitting out there today. It's an empty office
It's
today.
pretty empty.
Yeah, Josh wasn't
I
there.
bet you
He would've noticed.
Wendy would have noticed.
Wendy wasn't sitting out there.
I know. So what are you worried about? And then you
My
go.
hair.
Well, if you go to see.
Is that not clear?
I'm just saying. What are you worried
I'm-
about as far as?
I'm legendary bad at this.
I
okay?
know, all
Like,
men are.
Julie got a haircut
Not all
and
men.
she's like, "What do you think?" And I go, "Yeah, it's great." She's like, "I'm not asking you again."
Listen to me. It's designed in my head now. I know when my wife goes when she has her appointment. I wait for her to get home. Oh, it looks great.
That's
and
what
I get
I did.
really excited.
That's why yesterday, what did I say to everybody? I'm going to get my hair done.
Doesn't
Yeah.
happen because first
We
of all,
we had a conversation and I didn't
I
remember
know.
when I walked in today.
I know.
All right, so listen.
And it's not about the money, but it's also about the money.
Right. So it's all about the money. 'Cause you've spent. How
Okay.
much did you spend?
A lot.
You don't
What
want
is
to say.
a
No,
lot?
it cost
Is it $9?
It cost $310.
What the fuck?
$310.
$310.
Are you kidding me? To just fix your face, your head up?
It was a cut and color,
I spent $27
and I spent less than any of my girlfriends out here.
on a haircut.
That's stupid.
How much do you pay?
$100, $80.
Really?
Something like that.
That's
No,
stupid.
No, not $80. That's not true. That's not true. That's a bold-faced lie.
What's the truth?
About $55.
Yeah,
$55.
I just
Who
go
out
get a
there
haircut.
gets
I don't
their
care.
hair-
I go to
hair done?
The
Supercuts.
Supercuts. Yeah,
See, I have this
but
girl
that's,
I go
that's
to
like
at
playing
Supercuts.
Russian roulette.
No, I go to the same person every time.
Is she still
I
there?
go the same
Yeah.
person every time too.
If she leaves, you got to bail.
Really
Yeah.
far.
I've seen horror shows come out of that place.
I've had horror shows happen. It's
like Edward Scissorhands is
But when
working
when I nailed it at Supercuts, you got to hold on to that. You got to really hold on to it because
They drink
that's
Dasani
that's
at
a
Supercuts.
unicorn. That is a unicorn that
Right.
you have found.
How often do you guys go though?
I go like
once every month. Every 2 months.
Yeah.
I go every 4 months.
Every 4 months.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like
I
$100 a month.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Or
it's an
no,
investment.
A little less,
100
yeah.
So do you
yeah, a
put
little
money
less.
away
No,
on
85 bucks.
savings?
Straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Because you're
have
talking
to.
taxes though too, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Right, Roxy, your hair
have
looks
to say,
wonderful.
Thank you
Looks
so
really
much.
good.
Thank you
Really
guys for
good.
noticing.
Really
I
good.
really
It's
appreciate
really
it.
good. I
Thanks,
noticed
Carrie.
the highlights.
Thank
It's like, and
Yeah.
the color
You
is
just need
really
to hang out with
good.
Sinead. She'd probably notice in a heartbeat.
Sinead would notice.
Yeah, she'd notice.
She would notice.
I wouldn't notice shit. I told you, I noticed a picture hanging in my house that was there for 2 years.
You know who I felt like would have maybe noticed? Alex.
Oh.
He didn't.
He's not here.
Alex.
Oh.
Yeah, he didn't. You're right. Because he's home.
You just
Alex
gotta-
didn't notice. Did you even? What do you want people to notice from like other places?
Yeah.
They're Skyping in.
I guess
they're
so.
watching you
Where's
with their
Alex?
invisible cameras that they don't have.
Where's Alex?
You know what? He was not supposed to be here yesterday,
But he was-
he was supposed to do something for his other job.
job, yeah.
And then they got switched.
Oh,
and
he
so,
didn't notice.
Well, no, he didn't. I bet you know what? Maybe he
Cody
noticed.
didn't notice either.
Check your tweets.
Check your
Maybe
tweets.
maybe
Yeah,
he's,
he
maybe
noticed.
he's
Think so?
watching and he's
Yeah,
like,
he's-
hey,
he's-
Roxy, at Roxy
Yeah.
Stryer.
Anyway, listen, we got a lot going on today.
Yes.
Like I said, James Roday is going to be in at 10:30. We're going to shoot the shit. We're going to do some. We'll do some not only phone calls and tweets, but we'll also go to the Facebook group a little
Yeah.
later. So start that master post in the Facebook group. The other thing is I had put out. So I did what I said I was going to do. I went to the Collider Facebook group and I posted a little discount code for the free for all, which is March 23rd.
Nice.
Now I gave it to them yesterday. Then and I also gave it to the patrons.
So how much does that make it, the ticket?
It takes 20% off of $30. So do the math.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
really good.
So it's it's for general admission,
Like
20% off,
$24.
something like that. Yeah. So go.
Holy shit.
And that's right, man.
Holy
I know it's a deal. I released the code on Twitter this morning. I released it. So I'm going to release it now to everyone. If you want to get the discounted code for the free for all on March 23rd.
Yeah.
50 fans is the code. 50 FANS capitals. And go on over to
50 the number or spelled out?
50 fans and go to the schmodownlive.com and the first 50 fans to do that will get 20% off of general admission. So go and do that, and then it'll be gone after that. So
It's
just
like
let you know.
paying less than $1 for each person that's going to be there.
Definitely
That's
listen
put
to
it this
40
way.
people.
Yeah.
They're paying less than a haircut
That's right for you.
for me.
Certainly
true.
less than a haircut for me.
Yes, way less.
And color.
Okay,
Nobody
look.
noticed
Yeah, so
anyway.
make sure you go on over there to that Facebook group and be a part of the conversation. They have a really good live stream that they do, or excuse me, just live chat that they do as well.
It's great.
What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, you tried The Bachelor last night or 2 nights ago?
Yeah, I tried it.
You
For the
you watched
first
a
time
bad episode?
No,
apparently.
so
Ever?
I've seen
Yeah.
no. I've seen seasons
Yeah.
of The Bachelor. Julie
Push
liked
it out.
it, and I decided to because we were just talking about it, and I was watching World News, and then it started, and there it is.
It sounded like it, didn't it?
It did.
Let it go. Relax. Push it out.
Oh,
If you're sitting there,
Perfect.
you know, and you're on your computer, no one's around,
It
and
took a
you,
second to register.
you let one of these go. Someone walks by, they didn't hear it.
If you're in a big meeting,
Yeah, but you're sitting around and no one's paying attention. Yeah, you just
and God forbid you do it during a council session
Everybody
where
else-
you're doing
what I was
checking
referencing.
notes.
everybody else is out at lunch and you're just sitting around. You look around.
I wish I didn't laugh the first time.
Someone walks by.
My
And,
exit's on.
yeah, and that's it.
Well, funny enough,
like a war zone.
It's very fitting that the fart noises are there because that's what I thought about The Bachelor.
There's
Wait,
a bunch of farts.
It was awful.
So tell me more.
it was just plain awful.
Yeah.
I'll tell you more. Okay,
But
so
you watched the bad. You gotta watch from the beginning.
Yeah, I know. I
can't watch it. You're
jumped
at a
in.
point right now. It's all about romance. It sucks.
Wait, but wasn't this supposed to be the wall jump episode, or that's next week?
I don't know. I haven't
I
watched
tuned
any
out. Literally, my eyes glassed over because
Well,
I just
actually-
couldn't. And I have seen seasons of The Bachelor before. This man
seen
went and
moments of the
asked
show.
for. Do I have to spoil? Are there spoilers that I have to do for
no,
Bachelors?
No, there's going to be a post in Facebook that they don't like us talking about The Bachelor in 5 seconds.
Okay.
They're sick of it. They're through with it.
But why he asked permission to marry
Ralph.
3 girls?
Yes,
3.
that's what happens.
And every father, and this is where it was so staged, every father is like giving him shit like, why are you doing this? Like, I don't believe in this. This is like, how do you know you're in love? All these different things that fathers should do. And then
Turn them around.
They turn right around and go, because you asked, though, I give you a blessing. He asked 2 other girls, and you're saying, sure.
You got to remember that, first of all,
It's so produced. It's so like,
well, listen,
I get it.
Produced, yes. Staged, I will tell you from working there, it isn't.
I didn't feel
these
staged,
producers,
just-
these executive producers, and people on the floor, they work this psychological magic. What they're able to do when they talk to these people, and you're caught up by the lights of it. You're caught up in the whirlwind stuff that they're in. It's an insane science experiment that's been going on for 19 years.
Does
whatever.
anyone say
know.
no?
Yeah, it's happening.
I was hoping
Sure.
that
Yeah.
one of the fathers would
But
go,
dude, you got to remember.
no.
You got to remember though that when these girls sign up, they let their families know
Yeah.
that this could happen. So be
Like I said, I get it.
it's great.
I know
yeah.
it's a popular show.
It's a 1 in
People
4
watch.
shot, by the way, and none, who gives a shit about who cares?
That's what I said.
Yeah.
and
1 in
I-
4.
And I fell asleep.
1 in 4 shot
What?
because of he's talking about the final 4.
So it's final 3, right? You said 3
Final
people.
3. Oh, it's 3. All right, so
It's
1 out of
3.
3, whatever. So one of those 3 fuckers will win. And if they do, I did put in. It's because I just know the show.
Money?
Yeah, I put in. So with Red Azizi again, we'll talk about it on Friday.
Nice.
Because he was there watching for the first time ever, right? And I just have been on. I've seen the show, how it's produced. I could tell you who wins that show in the first episode. And I said, that's the person that's going to win. And they said, really? You think that person? I said, yes. And I said, I'll put $100 on it. So I put $100 on it to see. So
Do you know if that person's still in the game?
she is. Yeah. So hopefully I'll wind up winning more
You're
money.
a big gambler?
Used to be,
Yeah.
but now it's like I only do it. Like I have been pretty. Like, you used to watch Schmoes Know back in the day. I didn't lose often because I don't make bets that I don't think that I can win.
Yeah.
Like it's not like, oh, I got to do it for the odds. I got to go for the short shot thing. There's so many of you go back on old shows I still haven't collected, like Ace and JTE and RB3. They'll owe me still like a sushi dinner. I haven't forgot about it, you pricks.
Do you have to ask your wife permission?
To bet?
Yeah.
No.
But you're betting big bucks.
Well, it's still less than your hair.
$400 on the Oscars?
What? Well, I didn't bet $400. I bet $200. I won $400.
and you could've won
Yeah, just because there was 3 of us. So
That is less
like
than
I
my
said,
hair.
Yeah,
I knew.
But
you
I don't
gotta
have
know,
a wife.
I wouldn't have bet 200 against Perry and Mance.
Oh God, yeah, I learned the hard way.
I wouldn't do that. That's to me. That's
I'm
silly.
not doing this.
But-
if Mance is in an
Yeah.
Oscar pool, and I'm not doing it again.
But what I do is I went into that bet, and I'll talk to Steve about this on Friday. It was Steve and his buddy who are not big movie guys, but their show is called What's the Odds? So we're sitting there on the show, and they wanted to do push-ups. I'm like, what are we doing push-ups? Let's do money. And I threw it out there. I'll do $200. I was that confident that I could beat these guys.
Scared you couldn't do the push-ups?
I'm going to do the I would do them also, but I don't have to because I won. But I would rather it be not just to watch someone else do push-ups. I want you do push-ups while you give me money.
How many push-ups were we talking here?
93 because the 93 so they got to do 93 push-ups apiece.
I can do that many minus 90.
Right.
I can do
93.
that.
So
I can
93
do that.
push-ups
That's 3.
plus now I got them both for $200. So that's why, like I said, I just knew that it was an easier
What does 93 push-ups mean? They have to do it on air or something?
I guess. I don't know. I'll ask
And
Steve
all
when he comes
in,
in
you
on
got to
Friday.
do 93. You can't take a break. Can you take a break or like?
Talk to him about all questions.
It seems
big
like
questions.
an outrageous amount of push-ups.
Like I said, that's how confident I was that I wasn't going to lose. But
You almost did.
I almost did. I almost tied. It was.
What would happen? What happens in the case of a tie?
It would have been a push because the other guy would have had to pay. He would have gotten 200. I would have gotten 200, and then he would have to do all the push-ups. So,
Yeah.
But anyway, but Steve's coming in on Friday, and it'll be. Have you ever met him?
I'm not going to be here.
Oh, you're not going to be here on Friday, right? You're doing SJN. You're
Yeah.
cheating on us
I'm not cheating on you. Really, I guess I'm cheating on them.
right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Friday will be cheating on us.
It's kind of like an open relationship
Yeah,
that
I
everybody's
think so.
okay with.
Yeah. Well, I guess I was cheating on you guys. Schmoes came before.
Yeah,
That.
you cheated on
I cheated
on
on you-
AfterBuzz with us.
Yeah, I cheated on Afterwards with you guys,
Right.
and then I cheated on you guys with them.
Right.
And now I feel like I'm in a really open
I thought we got
relationship.
divorced, and then you went over there
Ooh, but I'm
first.
back.
You're back now. Yeah, that's what happened. So we
Who's
stole
the
you
girl?
back.
Who's the mistress? I am.
I think. Yeah, I don't know. You are. I don't know. Who cares?
Who cares?
No
Yeah.
one.
No
Definitely
one.
no one.
No one. All right. Fine.
Just throw your keys in the bowl as you walk
What
in.
open up that Facebook group? What are they doing in there? Are they causing problems? Or are they doing good? I like what they did yesterday. Almost 1,000 people. It's
It
good
was
stuff.
so amazing.
It's really good.
I don't know why I sound sarcastic when I'm not.
I know
You ever
you're
notice that
serious.
about me? Oh.
Yes, I've definitely noticed that about you.
Yeah.
For sure. Cody, I got to ask you a question.
Oh no.
No. So I was in the kitchen this morning.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
Thank you, Cody. And Cody and Norman and I believe it was someone else. It might have been Remsen. We're talking, and Copster. We're talking Japanese, or excuse me, German. Oh no. Sorry, it was Pokemon. They were talking about Pokemon, and they were in the middle of the kitchen talking
That's a
about.
good bit.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And they were talking Pokemon, and they're going through these whatever the fuck they're saying, right? And this isn't me saying, oh, I would never get into this. It passed me by, but gibberish it sounded like.
Yeah.
What were you guys talking about this morning?
All right, guys, it's a big day in the Pokemon world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just announced new game coming out at the end of this year, Sword and Stone. This is the 8th generation of the Pokemon franchise. This is big news.
Okay.
Nothing? Not thrilled. We got another guy here. Yeah.
Yeah.
He overheard. He wants to get on
Who's
this.
it, Copster again?
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard it. He runs. That's all these. You want to get Copster? It's like a bat signal. You just start talking about Pokemon.
You know he was just
That was it.
booking
He
over.
hears
Is,
Pokemon.
is
He's in.
this a joke or real?
No, this is no.
absolutely
They
real.
are. You should have heard them this morning. It was like it
I
was
used to
like the
collect the
trailer
cards.
dropped. It was like the trailer dropped for Star Wars this morning, and Mark and I were talking about it in the kitchen. But so listen, you have to try to tell me what in the world is Pokemon about? Because all I know is it's a yellow thing
You
that
want to know
runs
what
around.
Pokemon's about?
I have no
Oh,
idea.
how much time do you have, Christian?
Just give me the abridged version.
Do you know what
it's-
Gotta Catch 'Em All is?
I am a lot older than you are.
Oh, my God.
This is like, again, you didn't watch. Did you watch? You ever see Flash Gordon?
Yes.
The movie you watched in 1985. That's not fair because I know who you work with.
Yeah.
So not fair.
But not at the time.
Yeah, but it's like Thundercats. Did you watch Thundercats? Right. That's what I mean. Thundercats was a big show. Like when I was growing up.
You didn't. I guess your girls
missed
never
it.
got into it.
It was past their time.
But what about the app? No iPad.
When everybody was getting hit by cars looking for fucking magical creatures. No, I was not doing that. I was getting stoned in and watching something else. So
I get that.
it was a couple of years ago. But anyway, Cody, what is this thing about?
Pokemon is basically it introduces kids to this world where there's these wonderful creatures out there that all are so cool, and you can catch them all, and you can
Hence the app.
be the best. It's awesome.
So it's it's just the app.
Is
basically.
Ash
no, it
still
was
there?
games before the app.
Or no?
I believe the show is still going. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, he's only on the show.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I don't get it either. But when I was a kid, I did.
Well, I'm going to have to go to this movie because people are talking about this movie. I'm going to have to go see it with my daughters for sure, or my daughter who she knows what Pokemon is. I don't know if she knows like what the story's about.
How many Pokemon can you name?
Me?
Can you do 3?
Pikachu?
Yeah.
That's the only one I got.
That's the only one?
That's it.
Is he a detective?
In this movie.
Right.
Okay. So Cody, normally he's not a detective.
Normally, he doesn't even talk.
Oh, he's
This
talking in
was a
his
game that
oh.
came out. They're basing the movie off of a game that came out a few years ago where he solves crimes.
Are you excited about this talking Pikachu?
I am now. When it
Okay.
was announced, I was not because I wanted like the adaptation of the original games because that would have been awesome.
Right.
But the trailers are winning me over.
All right.
Riley, can you name, other than Pikachu, another Pokemon?
No.
No, it's past.
No.
You
Not
how many
at
can you
all.
name? 7?
I'm
How many
gonna
are
help you
there?
guys out.
I can name Ryan Reynolds because he's in it.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds. is in it?
Yeah.
Is that what
He's
this
the,
is?
he's the
Pokey
voice
rap.
of Pikachu.
This is Pokérap?
Yeah, they name all 151.
So you used to watch this as a kid, Cody? Is that what it
All
was?
the time. It's on
All the time.
Netflix. I still watch it.
I collected all the trading cards.
You have the okay. All
Yeah.
right. Well, look, it's going to make a lot of money. I don't think this is the same as Power Rangers though, because Power Rangers, I think there were a lot of people that were excited for it, but it didn't capture everyone the way Pokemon did.
But I don't know. I feel like Power Rangers were a bigger
Than
franchise.
Pokemon?
No.
No way.
Really?
No way.
But
Yeah.
don't you think it spanned more generations? Like everybody knows what Power Rangers are.
Pokemon
You can name the
was-
colors of them.
Pokemon was a phenomenon twice.
Yeah, Pokemon is a movement.
And so
It's
as recent as like 2
religious.
years ago, it came back. But it
Really,
was
though?
it was like 99, 2000. I remember it because it's when I was doing a lot of stand up, and I remember thinking, what the hell is Pokemon? Like, what is that? Like, it was a huge thing, and it was before the
You don't
internet was
think Power
popular.
Rangers were huge?
They were big, but not like Pokemon. Pokemon was like a worldwide phenomenon. It was crazy.
I waited 2 hours in the sun to watch that first movie. Like around the line was around the theater.
Now this is the thing, and it probably made a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
I didn't even know there was a Pokemon movie.
You
That's
know,
was
how.
a bunch,
waiting
guys.
in the sun is not a.
It was the
feat.
summer.
If you,
Yeah.
if you say I waited in the rain,
It was
I
hot,
waited
Roxy,
2 hours
that's what I'm
in
trying
the
to say.
sun.
Well, where
It
were
was
you? Were you
sunshine.
here?
It was in SoCal, yeah.
Right. So I mean, and when was it? In July?
I think so.
Yeah, that's hot.
Not as hot as the East Coast.
True.
Good
Not
for you.
and humid.
Yeah.
So Cody, it doesn't matter. You live in a desert.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
All right. Okay. So listen. Very soon here, we're gonna go to break. So it's
Who are you
10:20.
nodding at?
Riley.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's sitting.
It
right
was
there.
a little.
it
I
looks
was,
like.
looking, 'cause I was looking at what time it was.
Okay.
I was looking at what time because we have our guest.
Oh my God! I thought there was gonna be. I
So
was gonna look over at
what are you gonna
person in
ask?
the corner.
I'm just curious. I know that you're a big fan.
Oh my
You gonna
God.
talk to him? Okay, good. What are you gonna say? That makes sense.
Yeah.
Then you should do it. Fine. Okay, they're gonna do it. They're gonna ask the questions.
That
They're
just
gonna be sitting-
reminded me of Umbrella Academy.
Oh, somebody's
What
I
if
talking. to you?
finally watched it last night.
Really?
And?
You like it?
You love it.
Yeah, it's cool.
I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You're gonna like Doom
Easy
Patrol
with
in
It's
the
a minute.
language.
like,
Fucking A.
sorry, I'm using one of my F bombs.
All right, take it easy.
It's as if Wes Anderson is directing a superhero.
X-Men.
Yeah.
Is it X-Men?
Kinda.
Ish.
Kind of.
Kind of.
All right, I'll watch it.
We should, with no blinking, when our guest comes in,
Yeah, which we're
just
gonna
have
like
the
to do
person
now.
in the
Yeah.
corner ask the questions.
Okay, well, listen.
Oh, that's gonna be me.
All right, let's go to break. Riley will sit you in the corner because Thad
I'm bad.
Williams is a huge
Yeah,
Psych fan, so
yeah,
we'll
we
get
gotta
him in
get
here.
him in.
All right, get the hell out of here. We'll go get our guest. We will be back after the break. Collider Live. Get into that Facebook group. Start asking some questions.
Version, Paris, Horsey, Eradicate, Magnum, Micadabra, Weepinbell, Ditto, Cluster, Canopy, Sandshrew, Bulbasaur, Charmander, Golem, Pikachu! At least 150 or more to see to be a Pokemon.
Hello there. No, it's not late to the party. That's actually from Obi-Wan Kenobi. You didn't know that? Well, you should, and now you do. Jedi Council. What is it? It's about Star Wars, obviously. It's Jedi Council. Every week, the latest and greatest in Star Wars movie news. Myself and Ken Knapsack, that's right, the pit boss himself. We have a guest on, and we talk about everything happening in the world of Star Wars. If it's the movie news, the TV news, canon news, comic books, games, and then we take questions from you guys on Facebook and Twitter. It's a lot of fun. We've been doing it for a couple of years now. I'm still excited talking about it. The fan base is coming together again. I believe it is. I think it is. I hope it is. And we're talking Star Wars, so we like you. That's right, all of you. If you're not a fan of Star Wars, come on over and join us every Thursday for Collider Jedi Council here on Collider Video. And we have an Apple Podcast feed or Podcast One, wherever you want to go if you listen to podcasts. And not only do you get Collider Jedi Council every week on Thursday, The Rule of Two with Mark Fernandez and Mark Riley, that's on every week. I believe it drops on Wednesday. It's on one of these days. It's a good show. You should listen to it. I like it. I listen to it. I haven't listened to it once.
Hey guys, Ryan Satin here from ProWrestlingSheet.com. And if you're a pro wrestling fan, which I hope you are, even if it's in secret, then you should be checking out Wrestling Sheet Radio Weekly. We've got a bunch of shows in the podcast feed. We've got weekly recaps from myself and John Roca, which you guys will probably know from the Collider family. That's for Raw, that's for SmackDown. We've also got the weekly roundup of wrestling news. It's a show I host called Wrestling Sheet Radio with Jamie Iovine and Elijah Bates. And we've also got a bunch of other stuff in our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/wrestling sheet. So check it out, subscribe, and I hope you guys dig it.
Hey guys, Perry here to remind you to tune in for Collider Movie Talk every single Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 4 p.m. PT Live. We are live. We talk about movies. We answer your live Twitter questions. It's so much fun. We talk about everything from box office to all your favorite superhero movies. We talk about horror on a good day for me, and who knows, maybe even a spoonerism will happen. I don't know. That's what happens when you watch Collider Tuvi Mock, right? Are you going to watch? You better watch. Go watch now.
What's up, Collider fans? If you are a fan of television and you want to watch a guy that looks like me and a guy named Thad Williams talk about TV every single Friday, subscribe to the Collider channel. Collider Podcast is where you can find the video. We have our own iTunes feed, hashtag a Collider TV Talk. You can find on iTunes or wherever you find your podcasts and you listen to them in your ear holes. That's where Collider TV Talk comes at you. We talk about TV news. We talk about shows we love, shows that we don't love, and most importantly, we don't read any books because TV has nothing to do with reading. We also have a show called Hypothetical Questions with myself and Roxy Stryer and all kinds of reviews right here at the Collider Podcast channel and the Collider TV Talk feed. Subscribe, rate, like, tell your friends, tell all your friends and tell their friends, and before you know it, it's a pyramid scheme of television. I'm Josh McCouga. You can see Thad Williams and myself along with Roxy Stryer and all the Collider personalities all the time right here on Collider TV Talk. As always, put down the book, pick up the remote.
Hey everyone, I'm Scott Movie Mance, and just to let you know, if you already don't, every Friday here on Collider Video, I host a weekly film review series called Movie Review Talk. The title says it all. Every week I'm joined by two guest critics of my choice, and they're never the same. We review the new films. We pick something that's streaming that you might not know about, but is really great. And we pick a Blu-ray for something that you might have missed in theaters. It is fun. It is infectious. It is the Citizen Kane of movie review shows, and it's only right here on Collider with this guy, Scott Movie Mance, Mr. Movie Release Dates himself. Check it out every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific, only on Collider Video.
We are back. It is Collider Live. It is Wednesday, and joining us today, he is the star of Psych. Hello, James Roday. How are you, sir?
Hey,
It's nice
so
see
good to
you.
be here.
What's your favorite moment of the season of all time?
My favorite moment of the series was probably they did a lot of parody episodes, and they did one on Twin Peaks.
Oh, and you liked that?
It was very entertaining.
You liked being, and now you're a producer of the show as well.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I'm co-writing the sequel of the film. I directed like 8 episodes.
Good.
Over the year.
And this is why you were the best commissioner of all time, because your ability to improv is impeccable. I love having him on the show. It's Thad Williams. Hello,
Hey,
Thad. How are you?
how's it going?
James Roday is not here yet, obviously.
He kind of sounds like him, though, and I feel like our iTunes listeners probably would
Thought it was him? They
Yeah,
might have.
It's possible.
They
Your
might
voice
have.
is a little similar.
Come on, son.
Yeah, speaking of the Apple podcast, make sure that you guys, if you haven't done that, Collider Live is a fun listen on the road, or if you want to, if you're at the gym or wherever you are and you want to listen to the show, go to Apple Podcasts, subscribe, rate, comment, do all of that. Help us get up in those charts. You can also get us on Spotify and everywhere else that you can find podcasts. And the host of TV Talk is on the show with us, and you're excited that James is coming in because I didn't know you were such a big fan of Psych.
Yeah. I am a very big fan of Psych, and
I think they
is that
call-
okay with you? Okay, fine.
They
All
call that psychos, right?
yeah.
You guys are
They
fan base.
call us our fan psychos.
What's the show about?
It was a comedic procedural about a fake psychic.
Okay.
He was a man-child that pretended to be a psychic so that he could help solve crimes.
And that's
at the
James
police-
Roday.
And then that was James Roday. Dule Hill played his best
It was
friend.
two best
Okay.
friends growing up who decided they wanted to be work together as detectives, right? And the
Yeah.
only way to do that was for James to
Correct.
be
Yeah. James's character.
a psychic,
A psychic,
psycho.
a
Yeah.
psycho. James's character Sean, his dad was a police officer.
Right. They're doing a movie now?
Yeah, they've already done one
Okay.
TV movie like
Okay.
reunion. This is the second one. And he's co-writing this. He directed a bunch of their episodes, and a lot of the episodes that he directed were these very stylized horror parodies.
Right, and that's probably transfers over to
Which-
what he's doing here into the dark.
Precisely,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of the same people. Jimmy Simpson guest starred on Psych a bunch,
I
and
see.
he's leading the leading role in Into the Dark, and big role in Westworld.
Yeah.
As well. He's come a long way from his comedic roles on Always Sunny.
Right.
But James has really done a lot behind the camera that most of the Psych fans know, but he's
But
known
it
more
looks
for
like
his
he wants to
acting.
do a lot of that too, and that's what happens with a lot of these guys, man. They want to transition and do other things too. They catch the bug, and if you look at the movie parodies and things that they've done inside it too, you can tell they're film fans. And people throw him and Dule Hill at me for Schmodown stuff all the time.
I mean,
Really?
the
Yeah,
entire
they want them. Yeah.
Why aren't you taking the catch?
I've
Why
never
aren't
had an in.
Well, now you got it.
So we'll bring it up on the show.
We got it in. Well, the entire show is just nothing but 80s movie references because the two of them are like locked in their childhood.
Yeah.
And so every episode is just full of all these fun references.
Isms.
It's basically they do a schmodown in every episode with
I
all
should
the
probably
weird
watch
trivia.
this show, huh?
Yeah, I mean
people
it's
said I
fun.
would like
It's
it.
a very
Everyone.
goofy. It's a very goofy, fun ride.
It's always interesting when we have guests in here that you know primarily from one thing. Like you know them as an actor, you fall in love with them. Like when we had Jay Baruchel in, and when you asked, "What is it?" Right? If you had to pick acting or directing, which do you choose? And he was like, "Oh, hands down, directing."
Him, I
and
wasn't
not
surprised.
knowing people's ultimate dreams or where
Right.
their heart really is because you see them in one role, and then you think that. So I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean,
James.
because him can't get his name out.
Jay Baruchel or James?
Jay, thank you. For Jay, it was different to me because once he started talking about how he was raised and how the way his mom raised him in all those movies, I'm like, oh, this guy would take directing all day long. It's probably his end was probably acting, as where other people have this like not to say it's not his passion, but he definitely Jay's passion would probably favor the directing and the writing over the acting.
Right.
And I think he'd tell you the same thing. I don't know if that's the case with James.
But his
Roday,
aim as a 12-year-old was obviously acting
Right.
because what is he going to direct as a 12-year-old?
True. I mean, because there are other people. Look at Chris Evans, right? Like Chris Evans has been primarily an actor for a long time, and he also caught the bug of directing. He's directed small things. I had a chance to interview him once, and I asked him, "Would you ever want to do like the big budget huge things?" And it didn't seem like anything he wanted to do, but he likes doing the small kind of character pieces. Not to say he did want to do it, but that's
Different
not where
pressure.
it's just not where his mind is. He wants to do the smaller. I think it's also character-driven stuff you can get out of the smaller movies way much more so than you can in the big, blockbusters.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like a lot of, and you would know, I think a lot of actors and actresses, they kind of head towards those character studies, and then when they become directors, I think a lot of them want to find that really great performance out of the actors and out of the story, as opposed to the big budget movies, which are much more about directing traffic to create the big the set pieces.
Can I tell you
100%.
both something that has been on my mind, and I have to get it off my mind?
I'm so
It's not
scared.
Rocky. It's not Rocky.
Okay. Because I can't even do my close-up eye thing from here.
But this ice is bullshit. It's just bullshit. This ice that we get
I
in
thought
the
you said
office.
Alex isn't here. Who iced
I
you like
did this,
that?
but the
You iced yourself?
I thought it would break apart because LaCroix is definitely some kind of chemical in it because it usually dissolves ice like that. But this is bullshit. It's like the Titanic iceberg just sticking out of my glass. And because they don't break apart, it takes forever. The Bristol Farms ice cubes are the best. These are stupid ice cubes.
You have a problem with the ice the office gets?
And my wife does the same thing. It's not just this office. For some reason, there's a phenomenon. People like to get these blocks of ice, and you need the Sharon Stone pick to knock everything apart. And I don't
You
want.
throw
Just give
it
me
on the
cubes.
ground.
Yeah, you got to beat the hell out of it. It's obnoxious. It's like just get cubes. Why don't we do cubes?
I mean, I think it was more of a volume decision when they
Right.
decided to just get a couple of bags. To be fair, I did grab like a spatula out of the drawer and
beat it like a
and ice pick
mongrel.
it a little bit on Oscar night because
Why
it
don't
was
you-
sticking together.
Why don't you keep your LaCroix in the fridge?
I do. This is
Oh,
cool.
you just want it more cold?
Thank you so much. I like what you did there.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It took me way too long to pick
To
it up, but
understand
then
what
I
he was
got
doing.
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
Ice Cube would have been a little bit better reference, but Vanilla Ice does work.
Did you?
Well,
catch-
ice.
Yeah, ice,
Ice
baby.
Baby, I get. Yeah,
It's a
that's
little
fair.
bit both. Did you like the Pokemon stuff?
I don't know about Pokemon at all.
Okay, good.
I think it
Name
was slightly
two of them.
He doesn't know. He said
Pikachu,
Right, that's what everybody
and
gets.
Ash Ketchum.
Okay, well,
But he's not a Pokemon.
Ass ketchup?
Ash.
Oh,
Ash Ketchum. Isn't that a character? Is that a character, Cody?
I'm going to make up two names, and you guys decide which one is a Pokemon and which one isn't, okay?
All
right.
fine.
Snoringzer and Snorlax.
Snorlax is real.
Yeah, Snorlax is real. Yeah, that sounds right.
It's pretty.
Ding, ding, ding,
you know how I knew that? Snorlax, or the one you know.
Okay, whatever.
It's fair.
I'm done with this game then.
It was
I was playing
slightly telegraphed.
I was
Slightly.
I
Just a
was
little
doing a bit. I was doing something.
By the way, Roxy, did you get your hair done? It looks
See?
really. It looks really
Dad
good.
knows.
Wendy came in and she noticed.
Yeah, I told
but
her.
I know. I was like, oh my God, Wendy. I leapt into her arms and she was like, yeah, well, in all fairness, Christian asked me if I noticed anything about your hair.
Subtle,
I
Wendy.
went
Way to
back
blow
out.
Christian spot.
I went back out during commercial by Perry's desk and again, just looked at her and I kind of like flipped it. I did a legit flip and I was like, hey,
Perry's?
hi again,
Yeah.
Perry.
She's not gonna
Nothing.
notice it. No.
Yeah, but I guarantee you Perry spends at least $150 on her hair.
at least.
Maybe so. But what does that mean? It doesn't mean she's going to notice your hair.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think the price point, because I saw the chat as you were talking about it. The chat was like, "How can you do this?" I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility for a cut and a color.
Yeah, I mean that
Well, you live
honestly
in
in
Beverly
LA
Hills.
for a cut and a cut, but I drive to Calabasas for it.
Oh wow.
Because that's cheaper. Because
So that's with
it's
gas.
Not, that's plus gas. Wow.
No,
Yeah.
it's way cheaper because the place that I wanted to go here
It's
was
like $500.
800.
Oh,
What do they do? Put gold in your hair? Like
Good
real
God.
gold?
I
massage
I
your
don't-
feet?
I didn't go.
was
I don't know.
was it a celebrity hairdresser?
No,
Probably.
it's just every single place in Los Angeles. Like, if you're going to get it
$800.
dyed, if you're going to get a hair dye, cut is different. You
Now,
can
wait
get
a
a
minute
$9
now.
haircut. as a woman.
$800. Your hair should stay the way that they cut it for 2 years.
I don't think they have that ability.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Then
But
don't
that's
charge
what they
$800.
claim. That's what they claim. It's this place is called Ramirez Tran,
Okay.
and they claim that you only have to get your hair done once a year.
Oh well, then.
But why?
800 for the year.
Right.
isn't that
I don't
bad?
understand that claim.
Maybe the color stays in for.
Yeah.
No, but you can't. Your hair grows.
But who,
True.
Wait,
maybe they
so-
have.
But if
Maybe they have
claimed
like
it-
magic.
But isn't there someone to
magic
dispute
pixie
the
dust.
claim?
Well, I did my research, obviously,
Yeah.
and a
A lot of
bajillion
disputes.
people who go there, like, it looks fine for
in.
a year.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Oh hi.
Hey, James Roday is here, please.
Yeah.
Just a late.
That's okay. No worries at all. James Roday is here, guys, and so we're no longer going to talk. Sorry, Roxy, we're done with
You
the.
don't want to talk about my hair
I don't want to
anymore?
talk about your $800 haircut. I don't think
It
it's
was
necessary.
$310. $310.
But the fact that you wanted to get
It's not
$800, yeah,
Thank you.
that's
So you-
it's too much money.
We're talking about.
I just
haircuts
got
that
my
are in
hair
the
done.
hundreds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And nobody
How much-
noticed.
Yeah, how much? I was. They asked me. I paid $50 for my haircut.
I go less. I
You go
to,
less.
I go to Floyd's.
You do Floyd.
Oh.
See,
Oh,
Floyd,
nice.
see, Floyd's will take over Supercuts. That's Russian roulette, man.
Floyd's is a beer situation,
I
right?
found somebody at Supercuts. That's what I said.
Yeah, but I don't know.
It's like I
don't-
keep going
don't-
back.
I don't
and
buy
it
it.
works.
No one wants to talk about your hair. We're gonna talk.
All right.
We're talking to James Roday. How are you, sir?
I
Nice
also
to-
wear a lot of hats, though. So
Do you? Yeah, I'm a hat guy myself.
I wear a good amount of hats, too.
maybe those two things go together.
Yeah.
Floyd's and hats.
had a conversation. We had Jay Baruchel here last week, who's doing
Funny man.
really funny, and he's directing and he's writing, and we were start talking about you because that's kind of where you've been going on. You've been directing television now. There's a lot of things that you want to start directing, and we'll just throw the question at you right away.
Yeah.
You've been acting for a long time. Directing has, what do you say, the last 5 years? You've been
10.
10 years you've been directing. Okay,
Yeah.
so if you can only choose directing, writing, or acting, what do you take?
I choose Zac Efron.
He's right there. He's there for
He couldn't
you.
keep his
I
eyes
know,
off him.
And I'm thankful to you. I have no idea how much comfort this is bringing me.
With wig or without wig?
I'm gonna go with wig.
With wig,
please.
Yes, and the glove. You got
Yeah,
the creepy glove.
You know, it's a great question, and I thought, frankly, that I had the answer, and that the answer was directing.
Yeah.
I felt pretty solid about that for the last 3 or 4 years, which is what I was acting. Excuse me, I was acting less and less,
Yeah.
and directing more and more.
What changed?
I took this show that's on air right now called A Million Little Things.
Yeah.
And that's what changed. I mean, I took it as a pilot, and you never know if that's just going to be 2 weeks of your life or 8 years of your life.
Right.
But I took it because it felt like the right thing to do for me, and because of what the show was trying to do, and because of this role. And it was like, it was interesting because I was like, if you're going to pass on the opportunity to I play a man with breast cancer. I'm like, if you're going to pass on an opportunity to be a part of this interesting conversation that we've never really seen before, then you are effectively saying that you're retiring from acting.
Right.
Like, these kinds of roles don't come along enough for non-A-list movie stars to pass on them.
Right.
So that was the crossroads. I was like, okay, you're either hanging up your boots or you're going to get back in the pool. So I got back in the pool, and then the pilot went, and now I'm doing a TV show.
Yeah. Nice. And yeah, I mean, again, you don't know from 5 and 10 years how your perspective can change as well too, just depending on the projects, depending on what you run into. Because we could have an interview again in 5, 10 years from now. You could say, well, then this project came along.
Exactly.
So, but let's talk. I want to talk a little bit here about Into the Dark, Treehouse.
Yeah.
Now, tell me a little bit about tell the viewers about it if they're not familiar about it.
Yeah, Into the Dark is a horror and movie anthology, which is interesting because they're features as opposed to Twilight Zone episodes that Hulu and Blumhouse teamed up to create, and it's a movie a month, and each movie is loosely affiliated with a holiday. That's kind of the engine for the anthology. And I believe they started in October with Halloween, and we are now up to March, and that is Treehouse. and our holiday is International Women's Day.
Okay. And so Riley, I know that you were talking to me about this
Big
earlier today,
fan.
because Riley is a tremendous, he's a big horror fan, and
Yeah.
he was telling me at length about this morning. So what are you excited about with this project?
Well, I just love that it is what you're saying is it's a movie instead of like
Yeah.
an anthology, or I mean it is an anthology. My question is, how did you get involved, and what is it like working with Blumhouse, because they're killing it in everything they touch, it seems. And I watched the first episode, The Body, and you work with the other directors, like this is the story I'm telling. This is the story. Is there any
Zero,
kind of
zero crossover. The only reason I know the guys who did The Body was because we were posting. There was some post overlap. And They were downstairs with their editor, and I was upstairs with my editor, so I didn't get to meet them. But other than that, these are all completely standalone, separate films made by different directors, different everything. It's just you're off on your own little island doing your own thing.
And what is it like working with Blumhouse? Are they pretty hands-on, or
they're very
Jason Blum? Are you working with him?
There's Blumhouse, and then there's Blumhouse TV, and because this is for Hulu, it's under the Blumhouse TV jurisdiction. So it's a guy named Jeremy Gold and a lady named Marcy Wiseman. They sort of head up Blumhouse TV, and they're very hands-on. I'm always happy to give Blumhouse their props because I don't know of any other studio that's doing stuff like this. But like for my particular movie, I had a phone call with another one of their execs over there, and I soft pitched them this idea that was 50% baked, no script, of an idea that I'd been kicking around for a couple years with a pal of mine, and they listened to it. They got off the phone. They said, let us get back to you by the end of the weekend. And like 48 hours later, they were like, all right, you have the March slot. You better get to work. Wow. Write a script, start prepping. We have to shoot this thing before you go do your TV series. Who the hell is doing that besides Blumhouse?
Right.
Like, they're just, they will take a wild, crazy swing.
Well, they seem like they're going after passion, though, too. From you look at all the people that they've worked with, too. It's not just, we just had this whole conversation about how much harder it is. When a studio gets like $200 million to do the big movies, like I can't imagine what the Russo brothers went from doing television and jumping into like the Captain America and all that. But when you go to Blumhouse, who wants to work with creators and producers who are passionate about these projects, so I'm sure, because you said you've been working on this project for a while, that you had it in your head and you could just spout it out, and it wasn't just you weren't selling something. It was more you saying, "This is what I would do."
Yeah, and the trade-off, of course, is that you don't get $200 million.
Right.
You get $20. And that's part of why they can take these kind of swings, is because they're working in a sort of micro budget sort of zip code where it's like, sure, why not?
Right.
When you were talking about A Million Little Things, you said you took it because it felt like the right thing to do. With your directing career, your acting career, is that how you make your decisions? Just you go with your gut and whatever feels like the right thing to do, that's what you do?
It's definitely how I made that decision. I feel like with directing, it's probably a little bit, it probably involves a little more analytics of like, will this lead to this? Is there a means to an end? As opposed to like, yeah, it's a job. So I think I probably put a little more strategy into building the directing career versus this, which was just like staring at me saying you should do this.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because are you thinking years down the line? I know that a lot of times in the past, people would pigeonhole themselves into one kind of position, one kind of spot, and now it's completely changed. Are you thinking about what this means for you, every role you take, every job you take in 5 years, 10 years?
Not as an actor anymore, and I have to tell you, it's pretty liberating to not think of your career in those terms, especially after doing it for almost 20 years, where you overthink everything. You're always like, is this going to cost me? Like, is this a bad move? Is this a good move? One of the things that directing has afforded me is the luxury of not having to be a neurotic about my acting career anymore.
Right.
Just do stuff because it speaks to me, do stuff because it seems fun. If it's god-awful, oh well. Like, I don't care, frankly.
Yeah.
And I used to care too much, which is where most of us are, because it's like, wow, if I make one bad decision, it's like, what have you done for me lately?
Right.
I'm toast. So, yeah, it's really refreshing to have something else that I am extremely passionate about and know that I can do,
Right.
so that I don't have to obsess and treat my acting career like, I have to make every choice is it's a horrible kind of way to have to live. Chock full of champagne problems, but it's great to not have to worry about it like that anymore.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was wondering how you landed on horror. Have you been a big fan of the genre? And it's
I've been
because Jay was on, and he's going to be directing. He's a horror junkie. And he's going to want to direct horror.
I've been a horror geek since I was 5 years old.
I love it. What's some of the influences that you can maybe tout for
American
Treehouse?
Werewolf in London is not really an influence for Treehouse, but it's definitely what set me on my horror path.
I get it.
The first thing I thought I wanted to do for like a life when I grew up was be Rick Baker. I was like, I want to make monsters. I want to do makeup. That's my jam. Somewhere along the way that got skewed and I ended up in front of the camera instead. But I think my earliest passion was for monsters and making monsters, which is why my parents, in a fairly enlightened move, were like, oh, this kid isn't scared, so you can watch these movies. Now, the agreement was I had to look away if there was nudity of any kind.
Right. The Friday the 13th movies.
You can watch this guy's head get ripped off of his body, but if there's a boob, that's unacceptable.
Right.
Welcome to America.
It's good parenting.
But I just started logging horror films in my brain, and I was like a little weird. I was an only kid, so I was like a little weird horror encyclopedia walking around.
Yeah, it's funny because, like we said, you look at Jordan Peele yourself. We just talked with Jay. It's like the guys, because your comedy chops obviously, or people they rave about it. Psych and don't worry, we're gonna talk about Psych.
It's okay. It's okay. There's a tie-in here.
Yeah, there is.
He's a psycho.
Yes, but but the thing is that it's funny because these comedy guys who have this passion for horror films and everything too, but it's also your passion for movies. You can tell even and that bled over to Psych, obviously. Yeah. But the one thing I did have to ask you, because I'm here about the directing, the producing, the acting. Do you ever worry that you're going to burn yourself out? Do you find yourself at points sometimes you're just like, you know what, I got to take a break?
Idle Hands, Devil's Playground, definitely true for me.
Yeah.
I need to keep busy.
Moving. You need to be moving. Either way, I mean, that's the other thing too. I mean, you look at someone like The Rock. I don't think that guy ever sleeps. You know? So you want to have your hands in a bunch of different pots. And
I will sleep soundly when I'm dead. I know that.
Right. So just go for it.
Yeah.
Okay. So. As we heard you were coming in today.
There's a segue here.
Yes, let's do it.
Because when you were on Psych, so many of the episodes that you directed were horror based, and so obviously that ties into your childhood. And then you're doing this Treehouse thing, and you're casting a lot of your friends in it, which I assume was part of the joy of working with Blumhouse, right? Because you got to put Jimmy Simpson in the lead role.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How did that transition go from comedy horror to, I assume Treehouse is a little bit more traditional horror and dramatic?
There is definitely some levity in Treehouse. Okay. But you're right. We didn't set off to make a comedy horror film.
Yeah.
This movie specifically, has a message. There's definitely a social right now sort of element to it that we felt strongly about and that we took very seriously. That being said, I don't know how to make something without a sense of humor, and Jimmy Simpson is a genius, and he's always going to bring his Jimmy Simpson-ness to it, which is also gives you sort of some built-in levity. So the transition, I would say, was more steeped in the idea that, like, we actually have something that we want to say, and that comes first. There was a responsibility and an obligation to try and get something right, as opposed to just have a great time and make each other laugh.
Sure.
Which is precisely what we did on the first movie that I made, also starring Jimmy Simpson, which I love and will always love, but it doesn't really say anything. It's just a bunch of people having the time of their lives with a lot of blood and gore. So yeah, it was a very different experience this time in that, hey, like, it's a platform. We're very lucky to have an opportunity to maybe have millions of people watch something that we do. What do we want to do with that? As opposed to, have a masturbatory experience that sure is fun, but at the end of the day, it doesn't add up to much.
Yeah.
And this one, we wanted to we wanted it to add up to something.
Now, jumping over to Psych real quick, as far as the because you guys you've done one movie. Now there's another one coming up.
Yeah, we're gonna start shooting next month. It's
crazy how your schedule must be. It's gotta be insane, dude. I mean, just listen to all that. Just get it from where, and you're shooting it all in L.A.
All Vancouver.
Everything's all Vancouver.
Everything shoots there.
Damn.
Like I can't get a job that doesn't shoot in Vancouver.
Right. So
and I try.
Right. So what do you have? Like you have like a week of press or something you're able to do? Then you can get the hell out of here and just start shooting stuff.
Yeah, the overlap. We're doing press for Treehouse, and we're in prep on the Psych movie, and it's all bleeds into each other. But for me, it's great to know what the next 12 months of your life looks like.
Sure.
Then you can just give over to it. You're like, all right, this is what I'm doing.
Do you have a chance to? I mean, I know you want to be working, but do you have a chance to breathe and kick back and do shit that you like?
I'll have like a month.
You do.
I'll have the month of May.
Right.
And I haven't made any commitments of any kind. I'll probably be in New York, and I'll probably just chill out.
Okay.
Or at least as best as I know how to chill out.
Right. So it's not you sitting on a beach just relaxing. Something. That's not
I'm
you.
really a beach guy.
Yeah.
Maybe for like 2 days.
Right. But then you want to be on your feet, taking meetings, doing shit.
I'm all beached out.
I love it, man. That's the reason why you're working.
What are you going to do, though? I know you don't have specific plans, but, like, what do you do on your free time? Do you have friends that you kick it with? Are you a sit and drink beers kind of guy? Or what's your deal?
Like, New York is my jam. That's my place. That's where I'm always at peace and feel happiest. I have great friends there. I'll go see a bunch of theater. I'll go upstate. And, like I said, for 2 days, I'll chill in the wild, probably.
Yeah.
I have a new pad that I've barely been in that I'll try to make feel like a temporary home.
In New York?
Yeah.
Wow.
And before I have to go back to Vancouver.
Is that where Million Little Things shoots there as well?
Also Vancouver.
And then and so all this stuff is shooting. Look, that's like you said, it's convenient. You don't have to do a lot of traveling to shoot all your stuff, but it's just like back to back to back. Okay, so PJ Campbell is a guy who we work on this show. It's a movie trivia show down here, and he's here all the time, and he's a good guy, and he is a huge Psych fan. So I would be remiss if I didn't ask some of his questions that he wanted to ask. So yeah. So here we go. So when it came to Psych, they spent a lot of time doing riffs or parodies of movies. Were there any films in particular that they didn't get to do that you would have liked to do, or that you might do down the line with the Psych films?
You know, we got to a place on Psych where like the studio and the network just stopped. They never said no, and they basically just stopped listening.
Just do what you're gonna do.
Just do what you guys. Yeah. You aren't going to listen to us anyway, and you're your own thing out there, and just go. The only time they ever like dropped the hammer on us was when we wanted to do like a Sean and Gus go to space. Yeah. and we had come up with a semi-clever way to do it without actually them going to space, but we were going to riff on all the space movies.
Okay.
And that was when they were like, "No, this is the shark, and you're doing a forward roll over it, and we're going to save you from yourself."
Yeah. Were they right?
I think we could have easily gotten away with a space episode.
It feels like it could have worked.
I mean,
it could have been Moonraker.
The two of us in zero gravity is something that I can't believe we didn't do. I mean, that's a whole episode, really. Just us floating around like dumbasses. So,
well, you're co-writing the film, so you could always
throw it in there.
Yeah, it's true. There's still room for it. Yeah, I wouldn't
just throw another week onto the production.
Right. Yeah, there's a light at the end of that tunnel. We could still get to it, I think. Yeah. But yeah, space and time travel is the other one.
Right.
That we just could. That was on us. We could never quite crack the nut of how to do time travel, knowing that we couldn't actually, because that was the thing with Psych, right? There was no supernatural element.
Right.
You always had to explain what was really happening.
Sure.
And it was like, damn, how do we do time travel without time traveling? And we tried, and we would get like an act in and always be like, we don't know how to do this.
It's fascinating to see, to wonder what the writer's room was like, just kind of going through all those conversations of all the movies that you could do and how you could make it work.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to let you go in here in a second, but so are there any fan favorite characters or surprises that you can hint or talk about with the upcoming Psych sequel?
The thing that I'm most excited to say to Psycho specifically is that it's a welcome back for Tim Amundsen, who plays Lassie.
Yeah, he that's the next question.
Very good.
Yeah.
Glad he's doing all right.
Dad's Day.
He's doing great.
Yeah.
we've got some real fun stuff for him to do in this one. And that's the thing that we're most excited about.
That's what he said. He said because for those who didn't know, Tim had a stroke a few years ago, and he made a small cameo in the last Psych film, but now he's going to be making a leading return for the new one. How important was it to make sure that he was able to come back for the new film, as well as how great it is to see him obviously getting strong enough to come back to co-star in the new film?
That's why we're not making it until now.
Yeah.
There's no way we were going to do another one without him, so we just waited until it made sense and he felt good, and we built a pretty cool story around it, and he's going to be awesome. I know he will.
That's awesome. Last question for you before we let you go here, too. Dule Hill and yourself in a movie trivia battle, who would win?
That's me, and it's not even close. But I would say that Dule's not losing any sleep over that loss.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right, listen, thanks for joining us today. I'm sorry that the address didn't work out, but next time.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
glad that everybody knows where we exist now,
Yeah,
too.
It's East. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for talking about Treehouse.
Yeah, man.
And
For sure.
yeah.
At James Roday on Twitter?
At James Roday, Friday, March 1st, Hulu.
Yeah, check it out and make sure a million little things. Thank you guys. When we get back, we will be talking about a whole bunch of shit. I'm not going to talk about that hair anymore. I'm done with it. Thanks again. I'm done. James Roday, thank you. Thanks, Thad. And we'll see you guys in a little bit.
Hello, Collider fans. I'm Christian Harloff, and see my stupid name in the background because that's my other show. It's One-on-One with me, Christian Harloff. What the hell is it? I just sit down and talk to people. I literally just sit down and talk to people about what the hell's going on in their lives and their careers, and it's a long-form interview show.
Hey guys, it's Cody again. You know what this means if I'm talking during the break? That means the ad is out of date. That's right, the One-on-One Christian Harloff feed is now called the Collider Conversations feed, so ignore this ad for the next 30 seconds. All right, bye.
And we're going to have a lot more. And there's going to be people that maybe some celebrities or actors and actresses, producers, writers, all that stuff. But there's also a lot of the people that you know around here. I could have Copster on there. I could have Jeff Snyder, John Roca, Mark Riley, Roxy Stryer, whoever. And I'm going to find out more about them. Long form, and also go to Apple Podcasts and check out the One-on-One feed with Christian Harloff. And not only is my show on there, Mark Riley, the Riley Roundtable, which is another sit-down, long-form interview show, that's also there. And when Steve Frosty Weintraub talks to Kevin Smith or George Takei, that's going to be on that podcast feed also. So if you're taking a long drive and you like those long-form interviews, pop on the One-on-One with Christian Harloff. Give it a rate, comment, do all that because it helps the show and it makes Podcast One go, hey, you know what? Those people should get ad money.
Oh, hi guys. It's Perry here, and I am going to tell you about The Witching Hour. It is the show that I host along with Collider.com's Haley Fouch. It is in podcast form on the Collider Factory feed, and we also have the video up and running every Tuesday for you right there on the Collider Podcast YouTube channel. We talk about everything horror. We're talking TV, movies, the newest releases. We talk about movies that are celebrating anniversaries. We've even talked about books. It's crazy. If it is scary, we are talking about it on The Witching Hour. We also have so many filmmaker interviews, really cool stuff. It's all coming your way every single Tuesday on The Witching Hour. Check it out. Collider Factory and the Collider Podcast YouTube channel. Ugh.
Hello, Collider Live. My name is Amy Dallin.
And I'm Coy Jandro, and we host a little show we love called Collider Heroes. And it is all of the things we love about movies, TV, comics themselves, all the breaking news, trailers, photos, but not paparazzi photos.
All of the superhero stuff we love, all of the indie comic stuff we love, all the stuff you had no idea was based on comics.
80 years of comic lore have led to this show, and many years in film and TV, and we're living in a golden age of comics, and we want to share all of that zeal with you folks.
So we talk about the stuff that's coming out. We talk about what we hope is coming out. We do fantasy casting of things that should exist. Why don't they exist?
And we do your Twitter questions asking directly to us what we think of certain things. And every single week, since we both actually love and read physical comics in print, we have a comic pull list where our 5 biggest favorite books of the week come out, and we dive into those with you guys.
You can buy digital. I'll forgive you. As long as you're paying for your comics. It's all good.
But if you buy in print, you can bag them and board them, and then they're worth more later, because comics are like certain things things from the 90s that are totally worth the value. Buy comics, buy in print. Digital's never worth anything later. Buy in print, keep comic stores alive.
We can debate collector's items all day long. We can debate casting. We can debate movie news. We can have all of our friends come join us, as we frequently do. We can ask professionals about their work. We've had some amazing guests come by the show.
Yep. We try to
can catch it every Wednesday.
That are on these properties that also love comics. You hear what it's like from their perspective, from inside, from outside, and this is all with the focus of bringing all this news to you guys. And we're here every Wednesday on Collider, and we love this stuff and want to share it with you guys.
We'll see you then.
Hey guys, Riley here, and let me tell you about the Riley Roundtable. That's right, they gave Riley his own podcast. The Riley Roundtable is on its new home, and that is One-on-One with Christian Harloff on the iTunes feed for Podcast One. It drops every Thursday. The Riley Roundtable is a little bit about everything. It's about movies and life and movies and everything in between. I like to have on special guests for discussions like Justice League versus Batman v Superman, for discussions about wine tasting, for discussions about UFOs, and everything in between. That's right. The Riley Roundtable drops on Thursdays on the One-on-One with Christian Harloff podcast feed and later on Collider Video's own podcast video network. So check it out every Thursday, the Riley Roundtable. See you there.
Hey everyone, this is John Roca. You know me as one of the co-hosts for Collider Sports Time every Monday on Collider Sports YouTube and podcast channel. But we got another show on here. That's Collider Sportsbook. Josh McCougar, the Wild Man, he hosts that one. I join him on those, and they're a lot of fun. We break down the lines and the predictions with the over and unders. A lot of stuff going on for all the NFL games and some select college football games as well. We do that every week. We also do special ones on Thursday nights for those Thursday night football games. Let you know where to put your money, what bets to put down, who to go with, who not to go with. We give you a lot of information, and we give you our thoughts. You know, Josh McCougar, he does it by the gut. I do it more from the statistics point of view, and every once in a while, Mark Fernandez even joins us to throw in his 2 cents on the Thursday night sportsbook. So there's a lot of sports action here on Sports Time, on the Collider Sports YouTube and podcast channel. Join us there, subscribe there, definitely on the podcast channel. We need your downloads, subscriptions, and views there. So give us some love on Collider Sports, and we'll talk to you soon.
It's fair. The ice still hasn't melted, so it's fine. It's just it can take one sip of the damn
Doesn't
thing.
that make you feel really nervous that you're putting that in your body every day?
No. Why?
Because water makes things melt, and LaCroix apparently.
No, that's a different. No. That's not it at all. Usually LaCroix takes down ice pretty fast.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay, I want to read something because I got tweeted during the break.
Okay.
And this is something I don't know or understand, and my life is completely changed because of it. I'm reading this whole thing that is from mentalfloss.com. When a child with chocolate smeared on his face assures mom that he didn't steal his brother's candy bar, is he telling a bald-faced lie or a bold-faced lie? There's often...
bold.
Wait a second. There's often confusion about which word, bald or bold, is the correct one in this particular idiom. But fret no more. We now have the definitive answer. They are both acceptable. So stop tweeting me shit and saying that it's not bold-faced lie.
Bald?
Most sources agree that the original expression, coined in the late 1600s, was actually bare-faced lie. And at that time, bare meant brazen or bold, like Dagnino. At that time in history, almost all men sported a full set of whiskers, and it was considered quite daring or even audacious for male to be clean-shaven or barefaced. Eventually, the word for hairless went from bare to bald, and so did the description of a blatant fib. It was a bald-faced lie. Bold-face is now considered acceptable as well, since bold has the same meaning as bare originally did. Also, it can technically refer to a falsehood that appears in print in a bold typeface. The easiest way out of this maze of idioms, obviously, is to simply just tell the truth at all times. So
I've never heard anybody say a bald-faced lie.
me either, and
Yeah,
until I
it's
was
always
just tweeted
bold.
it. So, but the guy was not inaccurate to where he said, "Hey, I heard you say bold-faced lie." Just let you know, I didn't know this, but it's actually bold-faced. So just let you know, he was right and wrong at the same time because he was right. Right.
I feel like if somebody said to me, "Oh, that's a bald-faced lie," I
You'd
would
feel it was. You like, no, it's bold.
Yeah.
So, but no, either one. Either one is acceptable, but don't tell me that boldface is not, because it is. That's all I'm saying.
Do we believe everything we read, though?
Okay, Jenny.
That one I do. All right, listen. Let's go to the Facebooks because the group is popping.
They're rocking and rolling right now.
A lot of people
I love
out there.
this. We got 2 threads
Go
going
and
here.
join. Go and join. And also make sure, guys, go March 23rd, free for all in Los Angeles. 2 p.m. start. You can get tickets and you can get a discount. First 50 fans. That's right, 50 FANS. Go and put 50 fans. You'll get a discount on it. They will be gone after those 50 tickets are toast.
Do it!
Yes, please, Shia. Thank you so much. Hope everything's good with you.
Just do it!
That's right. Tell them.
Where is
Tell them all.
he? What's he working on?
Don't let the dreams be dreams.
He directed a movie that was at
Hold on,
Sundance.
He's talking.
So just do it!
I'm promoting
Make
his
your
stuff.
dreams come true!
He's telling them.
Just do it!
He's telling them to go to the free for all.
Right.
Yeah. So he's telling
And
them.
make your dreams come true.
Make them come true. Meet everybody.
Yeah.
Do it!
You know, I'm bringing another fan up from the fan leagues. Did I tell you that?
No.
Yeah.
Who? Can you say?
Not saying yet.
Okay.
I talked to the person the other day and said it's going to happen.
What's the record?
They're good. They're real good.
Isn't Kevin Smets one?
Smets was a guy who auditioned through Patreon, and he wasn't. And he auditioned, and he auditioned as literally as the Macho Man Randy Savage with the voice and dressed up and everything, but he called himself the Macho Man, right?
Oh, that's good.
That's funny.
great.
Right, but he was a blatant ripoff of the gimmick. So I was like, I told him, I was like, I don't know, and he didn't get a lot of questions right. He did okay. So I said to him, I was like, I don't think you're ready yet. I think that you should go, and there's fan leagues out there that you can play in, and they're awesome. There's like Full Metal Trivia and all these different trivia out there that you try to do it. And so he did, and he started to dominate inside of those leagues. So I watched a couple and said, all right, looks like he's doing all right.
Smasher's kind of a little too close to Crusher.
That's kind of the point. Eventually, maybe the Smasher will play the Crusher, maybe not. But who's the game in town? That's the point. Smasher versus the Crusher. One's a good guy, one's a bad guy. We'll see if it ever happens. But anyway, so yeah, I was talking to one of these particular people that I'd been keeping my eye on, and there might even be 2. It might be 2.
Wow.
So, but
Tall or short?
not giving either one of those up.
Bigger than a bread box.
What they saying in the Facebook group?
They are.
Cody, is that your new favorite sound drop?
I
Or?
love it so much.
Yeah, I know. Do you like that one or do you like Mance?
Depends on which man. I have a different Mance one every day that I like more.
Okay, which one do you like? Which Mance one is your favorite right now? Play it.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's mine.
They sound like movie clips. I know. You could have told. The little giggle at the end.
That's like Kevin McAllister grown up.
I love that one.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite one. Yeah, like anytime there's really good news. Okay, so let's get to the Facebook group. What's going on? What are they saying?
They're great. So a lot of so we have 2 threads going.
Okay.
They're tagging us for questions, which I have a ton of them. But in the conversation, there was a lot of talk on haircuts.
Okay.
Definitely like how much people pay, how much they love your hair, Roxy.
Thank you so much, guys.
See?
They would have said that
Thank
even if
you.
you hadn't said anything.
Yeah.
Everybody. So you
Wendy.
you jumped the gun.
I didn't jump the gun.
I think you did.
No, you know when you're being set up to fail and you don't want to fail, so you say it out loud?
Right.
That.
That's what you did. So you thought no one was gonna. It's like it's your birthday. No one says happy birthday. And you say, "Aren't you gonna wish me happy birthday?" I was going to. No, you weren't.
Yeah, I know you weren't.
Right. That's well. I
It's
think
literally
you're
exactly
wrong.
that.
I understand where you're coming from, but I think that I
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Yeah,
It's a difference of opinions.
No, it's not a difference of opinion. It's fact. What I was gonna say.
Why is what you're saying fact?
Because I know what I was gonna say. I was gonna say your hair looks nice, and I was gonna say it as soon as the show went on the air. You don't believe me?
No.
I think that I have past data for other shows that we did.
You do.
So it's possible.
I know that Riley wasn't going to say anything.
That I agree with.
Okay.
Again, I don't notice.
Right. He doesn't notice.
Julie would have noticed.
Julie would have noticed.
You better start noticing.
I
Pay
do,
attention.
and
and get yourself in trouble.
I just get in trouble
All
for
the
not
time.
saying the right thing.
Right.
Where it's like, it looks great.
Can't
She's
win.
like, I had to cue you, and I'm like,
Yeah, you can't win.
yeah.
No, you can't win. So what do they say?
Do you want a question? Do you want to just know?
Yeah, I want a question.
All right.
Thank you, Roxy.
You're welcome.
Brad Jacobs. I love this. What's the first movie score you bought? I bet you know.
Bought? I don't know.
Mine was Lion King. It was my first CD ever.
I don't know about bought. I mean, it's got probably Star Wars, I guess.
Yeah, that's mine.
I remember.
It's like I pleaded to get that.
I remember getting one as a gift and being very excited, and that was James Horner's Braveheart. I remember getting that as a gift.
I remember
loving
getting
that
that.
gift.
The first soundtrack I bought was Forrest Gump.
Yeah, that was a big one, like the double
that was
disc.
a big
Yeah.
one. I got that
Yeah.
one too.
But I don't remember other than that.
Yeah, Forrest Gump, man, that the music in that movie. I watched it again recently.
It's so good.
It's good. Oh, speaking of which, I did watch True Detective season finale last
Oh,
night.
good.
Really liked the ending.
Spoilers or non-spoilers?
No spoilers.
Okay, no
I don't want
spoilers.
because there are a lot of people who haven't seen it yet for sure. Like Riley being one of those people. So yeah, it was. I don't like it better than season 1, but I do like it a lot. And it's.
Did the finale make it a better season for you, a worse season, or on par?
I mean, on par.
On par.
On par. I think that it was.
That's great.
Yeah, when we're allowed to actually talk about the ending itself, because again, it's too early. It only came out on Sunday, so I want to really dive into it because because my wife and I got into a little conversation. She's like, "Oh, I wanted it to end like this," because there's something that happens at the end of it that you're like, I thought it was very interesting.
Well, there's the end, and then there's the and then there's the end.
But the end that is kind of signifies the moment. You know what I'm talking about. It's that particular thing that happens.
I loved that choice.
I did too, and I didn't know how I was going to feel about it. But and once we can really talk about it and dive into it, I'd love to have that conversation.
I
Because,
love what that represents, what that means.
Yeah.
I loved that choice, but a lot of people didn't. It's not as satisfying for some people as it could have been.
Right, and
I'm being vague on purpose.
And I can
rather.
understand why they wouldn't like it because again,
Yeah.
it's there's only so much you can talk about. But I would highly recommend season 3 of True Detective. It was a great series of television, 8 episodes, and I really hope both Mahershala Ali and I was just going to call him Craig Sheffer.
I mess up his name all the
Stephen
time too.
Dorff.
Stephen
Thank you.
Dorff.
Yeah.
Every time
He's great.
Stephen Dorff is awesome.
Yeah.
I've only seen the one episode.
Oh, dude,
No, he's
so-
amazing
He
in
should
it.
be nominated.
He's great.
Stephen
but
Dorff should be nominated.
You know
He
what I
should
love
be.
about this season? I love the way they're filming it, and I love the way that Mahershala Ali is
just
it's
de-aging. Yeah, just
the back and
just keep watching.
I don't want to say much
because the season finale they do something really awesome. A couple different things. There's something again. There are 2 things that they did in this
I wonder
episode.
if I know what you're talking
Stylistic. I'll just say a mirror.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it was very interesting. So yeah, check that series out. It's great. Okay, what else are they saying in there?
I'm having a request. What do you think? We need a "Can I Come" song, don't you think?
Yeah, we do need one, but it's got to
We need
come
more songs.
naturally.
This is from Abraham. Thank you for that.
Well, I mean, you talk to Thrawn. I mean, people are putting a lot of
Thrawn's
pressure on
listening.
Thrawn these days.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
He's
a
getting a
lot
lot
of
of
Thrawn
requests.
pressure.
Yeah. Well, people asked him to put actually do lyrics and stuff. The poor guy. He's like, just let him do his parody songs. Leave him alone. Don't make him sing. He doesn't want to sing.
And then
Who's the one who does sing?
Not him. That's David B.
Well, David B.
I don't know what David B's been doing. He's been
Maybe
silent
David B
since
should write a
Thrawn.
"Can I Come" song.
He's been silent since Thrawn came out with one song. David B had the smash hit, but then Thrawn followed up with like 3 smash hits.
Yeah.
David B has been silent. We've not heard of David B since his initial hit. He was one-hit wonder, you think?
No,
I don't know.
No, I don't think
He's
so.
really
much
good, though.
talent there.
Yeah.
Too
A lot
much
of
talent.
A lot of
for
It's just
a
it's
one-hit
too much
wonder.
pressure to put on a "Can I Come" song because then right now I would have to sing some kind of rhythm or tune. There's no, I'm not
nothing.
feeling it.
Well, he could just make like a techno remix.
Yeah,
if he wanted to.
that's true.
Dance.
But you know, for the other ones, we had vibes. Like we wanted to go metal, we wanted to go country.
I see.
Can
There's
I Come?
nothing to
It's
it.
not.
Let's just
like
give
a
us a
dance
few
club.
clean "Can I Come."
No, a dance club. It's like a dance club.
Can I come? Can I come?
Say it excited.
Can I come?
There you go. Perfect.
Let's give it.
Good
just
for you.
That
one
that
for
makes me
you
feel
now.
like our Friday. That's what Can I Come? Can I come? Can I come? Yeah.
Cody, how dare
That's
you?
what it should
Cody,
be.
That's,
you've done things in
queued
this.
it up, man. I'm sorry.
Cody, let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
What's today's day? What is
Wednesday,
today?
Christian.
Do you know what you just did?
I played the Friday soundbite on Wednesday.
You know, do you think that's a good?
I'm not proud of this. I just,
Right, but you
when
know.
someone cues it up, I can't help
I know,
myself.
but it's like your hand took over. I get it,
know.
but you know what you did was wrong.
I know.
All right.
I'm gonna go
Do you
to my
know
corner.
that because I'm always listening on Fridays, and every time Cody plays it, I get so excited. I'm the only one.
Dorina hates it.
I
Oh, we
know.
love it. We love it.
Dorina, I love Dorina.
Yeah.
Dorina hates everything.
She hates everything.
Dorina hates everything.
She doesn't like a lot of things.
No, she hates except for Roma. She loves Roma.
Well, no, she likes dark, sadistic shit.
Yeah. Which is kind of like hating everything.
Kind of. Yeah, but she's it's funny. So when she comes in, I don't like that. She does not. She's the only person I know that doesn't like shallow.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she does
I
not
know.
like that.
And I live for it
Yeah.
because
I love it.
I'm basic in that sense. I'm not always basic, but in
This
that
time.
way,
And you're proud of it. You
yeah,
should be.
yeah. I spent $310 on my hair. I
Right.
love shallow.
Right.
Can I
Oh,
come?
yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Thank
All right.
you.
What's next?
Live your truth.
This is such a good question. I grabbed it yesterday.
Okay, well, good for you.
And held on to it. Nat
Why don't you
saw
pat
it.
yourself on the back?
I will.
Go ahead. There you go. Like Barry Horowitz.
With all the pissed off people and things like True Detective or Star Wars, do you think mystery box storytelling does more damage than good for a story? It seems the answers never live up to what the fan speculation becomes and gets people to focus on the mystery rather than the characters. You don't think so? I think this. Yes.
I said I don't know.
It's sometimes.
Wait,
man,
so what? We're not supposed to like be excited and try to guess?
No.
No. Okay.
Absolutely not. I think you gotta. You need, can I help
Oh,
you?
I'll tell you what happened.
Can I help you?
I forgot to listen to the question.
Oh, so you're trying to figure out what it was. How do you forget to listen? What were you thinking about?
Julie did this last night. I'm literally talking to her.
Where'd you go?
And she goes, and she's like doing dishes, and she goes, huh? And I go, I was just talking.
All of a
Where'd you
sudden,
go?
you guys were having a conversation. I was like, shit.
You forgot. Where did you go?
Here's what happened.
Here's what happened.
In Sweaty Schnapp, I saw the
Oh.
red reflector, and I thought to myself, "That's interesting. That's only supposed to come on when we have 10 minutes left,
Oh.
and it's 11:20, and so we are supposed
not
to."
on.
Well, now it just went away, and
Oh,
I was
so
like,
I
"Oh,
don't
we're
know.
only supposed to go to 12." So
So
then
it was
I was
like
like,
it was
"Oh."
like a cat with a laser pointer.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, I wonder if that means we have a phone call." And then I was like, "No." Then Cody would play the Creed song or something, and so then by that point I'd missed the question.
Right. So you just went somewhere else. You got on a spaceship and
which
just
is
took off.
good broadcasting skills,
Yes.
mind you.
Right. You just went. There was like a bright light, and you just followed.
Oh, gone.
You're
And then I
pro.
didn't want anybody
Pro
to
as
know,
always.
so I was like, I'll just slowly tip this.
You don't want anybody
And
to
yet,
know.
this move right
You
in
didn't want
front of the
anyone to
camera.
know. You moved your neck like Elastigirl in The Incredibles.
Well,
to
I
look-
gave it like 3 seconds to see if I could figure out what you guys were talking about, but I couldn't. Something about me heard Masterpiece Theater.
Now wait a minute. Let me ask you a question. I am shocked about this. I'll tell you why I'm shocked. Not because this happened. That I'm not shocked about.
can't surprise
No.
Great.
What I'm shocked about is this is you who in the middle of normal things will be like, so
What?
as someone's talking, yeah, you know, wait, what? Huh? Go back. Wait, you did what? Wait, what's a, wait,
trying
you
to
put cream
grow.
cheese on a what? A bagel, Roxy. Wait, but
On a
where?
what?
But where?
You pronounce bagel
But
weird.
wait, what are you talking about? And
Bajere.
yeah, this one you tried to be subtle about.
Yeah,
why
yeah.
why the subtlety on this one?
I'm learning from the.
Give it a shot.
Give it a try.
that's great.
It clearly didn't work for me.
No?
I'm gonna go back to my ways.
All right,
What
please
were
do.
you guys talking about?
There
Don't
it
worry
is.
about it. All right, let's go. Let's go to the next one. This question's gone.
You don't
All
like
right.
that?
It's
Love
not.
that.
The
I
question's
thought it was
fine.
a great
You
question.
didn't even know what the question was.
Something about Masterpiece Theater.
Yeah, close. Not even close.
Is it close?
No. It was whether or not speculation and if you because your movie comes out and you know what or a TV show comes out, you know what you want it to be, where it's going to end. In your head, you start to piece together where you want it to go. And when we do that, does that hurt our expectations of what ultimately happens?
I think with a lot of, especially M. Night movies, has been coming up recently where you're just like waiting for the twist, waiting for something to happen. You think you know where it's going, and so yeah, I do think it can ruin your expectations.
I think if you get too tied to your own theory, if you fall in love with your own theory and then you get upset, it's like you gotta
You gotta be able to pull back.
speculate
Sure.
responsibly,
Right.
as they say,
Oh,
right?
I agree with that. I think that's fair. I don't think we should not because look, I've been saying
No,
for
it's
a
fun.
bit. I think that if you go back to look at everything that J.J. Abrams was doing and setting up, and all those cut scenes that were supposed to be there with the floating hand and all this stuff, and everything that he's been dropping hints, the stuff that's been happening in Rebels, I think they've been leading to signs that Palpatine's coming back. I think that they've been leading to signs. Now, if they don't and they don't bring him back, am I going to be upset? No, but okay, well, that's not the way that I thought they were going to go. If they do, there's a lot of other things in
Is
Star
that
Wars.
true though, Christian? You really wouldn't be upset because I feel like you'd be a little bummed.
No, because for me, this is different. I was more bummed. So, go to Last Jedi to where I could have sworn that you were going to have a scene of Luke having like a battle against whether it's Knights of Ren or whoever was in a lightsaber fight, and then he was actually going to fight with a lightsaber because he never really fought with a lightsaber at all. Was I bummed when that didn't happen? Yes,
Okay.
very much so. When it was revealed kind of how he was down the line, I thought he was going to be much different. Was I bummed? Yes, I was. But that's part of this. It's like you're not
It's
the
the fun of
filmmaker,
it.
you're not the writer, so you got to be able to, like Riley says, you speculate, you can get upset, but then you move on.
It's the point of being a super fan of something. It's the point of me reading DC Comics so that
Right.
when something happens, I know I either am like, oh, that came from this, or wow, that's brand new, and you can feel excited about things because you know you're the one who knows that not most people do.
Right.
I'm guessing that's probably how you feel about Star Wars. Things that you're guessing, speculating, if they come to life. that's not as exciting for me because I wasn't waiting my whole life for that.
Right, and it's also, and the funny thing is too, with the fans in general, the ones, and this is the one thing. This is just the culture that we live in and we work in too.
Yeah.
When you get it right, you might hear, "Oh, look, that's one that you picked." You get it wrong, everyone will let you know.
Shit.
I think that if you went back in my track record, I did pretty good.
You're pretty good.
And but no, because we had the Plagueis flub. There was a big Plagueis flub back in the day. We thought, we were convinced, Campy and I both had heard something from the same person, that it was Plagueis that was coming back.
Maybe it was.
Did you ever confront that person?
The person was confused. The person was confused. Not, let's say, had some good information, just didn't understand.
Relay it well.
Not a huge Star Wars fan. Didn't get it.
The signs were there, even in Force Awakens. That music that was playing during the Darth Plagueis speech in Revenge of the Sith was playing during that Snoke
there were
scene.
just things.
So
there were
was
things. There were things. But I think don't be surprised if Plagueis somehow, he's not going to be in the movie, but I wouldn't be surprised if they connected somehow.
I hope they do.
Yeah. Somehow or another.
This is going back to your coloring and your haircut. It's like everybody's like, looking good, Roxy, looking good, Roxy, looking good, Roxy. And then Leon McIntosh, I'm such a dude, didn't notice at all.
Yeah.
And it just like kind of halted it.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's us.
That's what happened.
I get it.
You know,
but are we dudes or should we really pay attention more?
No, I think we're dudes. I think
This is the problem.
You don't take offense to it,
No,
right?
you're the
No.
little sister of the group.
Yeah, and this is the problem with a lot of times, and I'm going to offend somebody right now, so
There
I'm
we
sorry
go.
in advance.
Oh, shit.
I don't know if that counts, but I'm sorry in advance. Like, women want men to notice things sometimes. They want them to be more feminine, but then they want a masculine guy.
Right.
So it's like the same things that we try to convince men to do. If they were doing that, you wouldn't want them.
It makes no
so
sense
if
at
every
all.
time I walked in the room, the guy that I liked was like, "Oh my God, that
Great
outfit,
shoes.
your
Looking
shoes
so
are amazing.
good."
I love your hair, girl." And that's all he noticed. I would be like, "I'm not in that guy anymore," you know. So the same thing that I'm like, notice me, pick me, choose me,
Or you-
love me.
right.
If you give me that, then I don't want you. So it's
Right.
kind of that.
It's just the way it is.
double-edged
We want-
sword.
Yeah,
there.
100%.
That's how we
And
are. But
again,
as humans,
I'm just
though-
one woman
but
as humans.
But as humans in general, we always want what's harder to get.
Yeah.
It's just how it is.
But it's not even that it's harder to get. Like, I've learned as a woman that you can emasculate a man, but then you don't want him anymore when he is. So instead, like, let him be a man.
So you do this. That's what you do. You think that's nice?
What just happened?
Just kidding. I have no idea. But you know,
I guess maybe.
you're not taking you're not emasculating them and tossing them out like trash.
No,
That's what I was saying.
No, I think when I was
What do you
younger,
mean, what just happened?
you
That was
know, when I'm younger, I think that I was kind of like chopping guys off at the balls. You know,
Oh,
like you're
goodness.
I'm very masculine in a
Painful,
lot of
yeah.
ways. I come in, I want to like, I don't know, do masculine shit.
Right.
Like I talk more like a dude. It's why
Right.
a lot of guys actually don't like me because I grew up with a brother. Like I like to chill and smoke and play video games.
chilling,
and,
smoking, playing.
and I'm not saying that that's
Dig it.
not something that women can do. Of course they can, and
Right,
I'm one
I'm
of them
saying,
that does.
yeah, right.
But there's also something to be said about letting a guy be a guy.
You're not dainty.
Yeah, and I think I've had to become slightly
Dainty-ish?
not
I don't think you're
dainty-ish,
dainty.
but slightly like more compassionate and have some
That's maturity.
feminine
That's mature.
feminine qualities to me.
True, but that's maturity also.
Still working on it. I'll let you guys know how it goes.
Okay, please.
Yeah.
Tweet or Instagram?
Tweet.
Tweet.
Although
some
I am Instagramming once a
You've
day.
been doing a lot of Instagramming.
Yeah, but my Twitter just grows so much faster because
Right.
people care more about my mind
Well,
than
there's
my
more-
boobs.
True. And there's more conversation here, though, too, inside of the Collider Live audience that they can interact. But now, interact more on the Facebook group.
Yeah.
So go on over to the.
It's crushing.
It's like the
crushing
only
those
reason that
guys.
I'm back on
Serious.
Facebook.
I
I'm
love
loving this.
It
It's really good
It
because they-
really was a nice injection of some energy, and everybody's loving it. Seems like everybody's having a great time.
I wonder how many members they added today.
Yeah, I don't know.
Go to that group. Check that group out. It's the official Collider Live group. So go on over there. The admin's doing a kick-ass job. A lot of great memes. I saw a lot of people who like Thrawn posted all of his songs. There was that guy that did, after we talked about your ferocious nails that you've had in the past, the guy had put your face on Nuclear Man and you were flying around.
Yeah,
on
I
Nuclear
saw
Man.
that.
How they doing now?
I retweeted.
He
It's
posted-
fine.
Yeah.
It's getting time though. It is
Claws.
incredible how fast they grow.
Yeah.
I wish
must
I had
have-
that
what's
problem.
What is that? Vitamin D, vitamin E. What do I have? That
I don't know.
because
The
Julie
claws.
said something. She's like, yeah. Besides
Yeah.
claws.
No, it is a thing.
Yeah, it's a
I
thing.
forget what it is though. I don't have much
Yeah, you
of
can hurt
it.
somebody with those things. When they
Imagine
get
if
back.
his fingernails grow that fast, his hair would grow even faster.
Well, yeah,
My
we
hair
know it.
does grow really fast.
I know. I gotta make that email today. I gotta write that email.
It's not happening.
No?
Not happening.
What happened?
Yeah, so talking to Julie last night, she was all for it, and then as we started getting into logistics, we are hovering around a date for the wedding,
which is You don't say.
later this year.
Okay.
And because of that, she's like, no. The realization came
Because it's
Doing
later this year,
pictures,
but
we're
not
gonna,
that
We're gonna do
late.
some pictures. We're gonna be going on meetings. She wants me dressed up. She
Can you
wants
do
me
it
to-
after the wedding?
That will be on the table. We'll have to figure out what that is.
6 months after the wedding, though. It's
6 months.
I want the.
Wow.
I want to see it. I want to see that hair grow out.
It's so funny.
Look at that thing. I mean, that's what after like.
This is after a haircut.
That's after a haircut.
Yeah.
That's after a
haircut.
After
it looks,
a
It looks
haircut.
like the ArcLight Dome.
It's
Oh,
my
so you
favorite
noticed
thing.
his haircut, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, how do you not? It's like, look at that thing. I mean, people think it's a wig. It's so good. I mean, that's.
I know. That was one of my favorite comments when I first started at Collider.
Yeah, look
They're
at it. Look, it's like a runway.
And this guy was just not holding back. He's like, this asshole's wearing a wig. And I was just like,
That's not
what?
It's not a wig. It's not.
That was not a wig.
It is. It is. It is
What
a head of
happens
hair.
when you don't gel it? It goes flat down?
No, it goes froey. It goes.
Can you do
all
that
the-
for a day?
Some of my favorite, and Julie could vouch for this. When I wake up in the morning sometimes and I'm like laying on I look like a not Pikachu, like a
Punk.
bird.
Yeah.
It's like punk.
peacock.
Peacock.
There you go.
You know, like with the thing.
Pikachu.
Yeah, Pikachu.
I'll walk out and Julie will look at me and go, look at your head, and just laugh.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's good stuff you got going.
Okay.
Oh,
Charlafinger or Charlamander?
what? Huh? What are you talking about?
Which one?
What happened? Where'd you go
First
again?
off, it's neither. It's Charmander, not Charlamander.
Let the experts play the game, please.
Come on.
You just leveled yourself.
Y'all talking shit? Y'all talking shit?
Copster must have a microphone over.
Yeah, Cody, please explain to Copster what travesty just happened.
It is Charmander.
Okay, he's
Oh,
back.
it's okay.
All right, so
Explain what happened.
Roxy tried to trick Christian, saying like, "Is this a Pokemon or is this something else?" And she said like Charlemagne or Charlamander.
Roxy.
I meant Charmander.
Oh, okay.
I messed
You
up.
meant Charmander. Okay.
I
Is that a
messed it
person?
up.
Wait,
No, it's not
you
person.
Pokemonist, huh? Are you a little racist towards Pokemon now?
Uh-oh.
Don't get names mixed up with different.
Eevee or Evo?
Oh
He
my!
just called you a Pokemonist.
I can't help it.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I can't believe you would mix up a fire and water. Like,
No, I'm quizzing them.
You know what?
It's not
When
doing
does
it
this
well.
movie come out?
a movie. Oh,
Is it not
Is
a
it
movie?
just a movie to you, Christian? Is that all that matters?
When does this cinematic masterpiece come out, guys?
the movie comes out in May, I think. Right?
In May.
Yes.
Shit. You know what? All right, Compster.
Premiere?
And
Premiere?
Cody. Well, who does it? Which studio does it?
I think it's Warner Brothers.
All right, I'll look into it. I'll look into it because I'm not going to go to that thing. I'll get it for you guys. But look, how about a Schmodown exhibition match?
Yes.
Pokemon.
Yes.
Between me and who?
Oh yeah.
You would
you're-
play?
Yeah.
Would you play in that?
No, I don't.
Oh,
even
that's
know.
that's the movie trivia you're gonna
No, she
involve
just said
yourself
no.
in?
But who?
I don't know anything.
Who could hang? Who could hang? Now, if I was going to guess, I was going to guess, I would say that
Copster and
Ace,
Cody.
Copster and Cody could hang. I think Ace can hang. I think RB3 maybe.
I bet
maybe not.
Wendy
Wendy
can
younger.
hang.
Wendy too. And Frank can hang.
Frank, yeah, get Frank in there.
Alex or no?
Oh.
Maybe
No.
Alex. No. No. Okay. Well, they know better than they know their own.
Beardo
circle.
or no?
Yeah,
What-
Brian's a huge.
Oh,
fan.
please get
Beardo.
Brian in there. That'd be hilarious.
Is Beardo or no?
Not at all.
No,
Not
he
at
hates
all.
it.
All right. So then, what if what if we put Beardo on the table to do it? So Beardo and Ellis on the table, and then you versus Wendy versus Cody in a Pokemon exhibition match. Would you do that?
Pokemon, yeah.
Whatever. What,
Yeah, you do say it like it's a Pokemon.
Pokemon.
You have no authority to talk about mispronunciation.
Charmander.
Exactly. So
Roxy, just stop right
yeah,
now.
right. How would you feel about that match? Who would win?
Oh, I mean Cody probably.
Cody would win.
Well, it depends on which generation. Like I said earlier, there's 8 different generations, guys. If it's primarily the first
I
one,
don't
I
know.
think it's an even
I
field.
don't know. Cody.
I've never seen you give up so fast. You're
Cody-
just like your
It's gotta
eyes
be Gen
rolled
1
all the way
only.
back.
Cody,
Gen 1 only.
Cody, maybe you should write the questions.
Yeah, that might be a good
All
idea.
right, good. All right, so then
As long as I can still go.
Copster just took the lead as a heavy favorite. We'll figure that out. Whether or not we'll see if the audience wants me to even do that.
Pikachu.
Whatever that was. All right, what's next in there?
Oh, you want another question?
Yeah.
No, you know what? Let's just leave it open and not ask a damn thing.
No. This is good with Jack Fryer. Love your thoughts on this. Everybody here.
Sure.
Where do you see Collider in the next 5 years?
For me, it's Collider Live. It's Jedi Council. Those are the shows that I've been doing, and working heavy on those shows, and just trying to get this show to the next level. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah,
Cool.
I see more of that. I see more shows. I see more, especially with how successful Schmodown is. Like, why not do a live panel somewhere?
Yeah.
Why not do more of that?
Yeah.
It'd be fun to
Love
meet
to do
all
live.
you guys out there
Collider
in the
Live.
world. In the world.
All right, did we talk about everything in the world of movie news?
We did not.
What did we talk about?
Well, let me get to that real quick. I got to find the documents.
It's right in front of your face.
Well, yeah, but I want to get the links.
I could
but that's all
name.
right.
I'll name the news.
No, I want to
please
start
don't.
this. We'll get to the MCU and the timeline, but
You're in timeout.
I've got it all.
Let's talk about this because you perked up.
Yeah.
David Goyer.
Oh, yes.
His and I'm
When I
paraphrasing.
perked up, I got more upset.
Yeah, he was like one of the production guys that was doing some work on like the production
movie.
art
Yeah.
and
Masters of the Universe.
visualizing. Was like, yeah, he was really going for Lord of the Rings, and the reason he walked away and the reason it was kind of scrapped was it was too epic. They were like going Lord of the Rings, and everybody was like, this is too expensive. And the guy's like, man, I was doing some of the artwork, and it was so rad. And he's like, I wanted it to be Lord of the Rings. At the very end of that quote, he's like, it's like something like, when's the last time we saw something like Star Wars? He brings up exactly what we're talking about. Lord of the Rings meets Star Wars.
And they scrapped.
And Sony said, no.
They wanted to because I told you,
Yeah.
it's going to be that stupid thing. Well, we were thinking a little bit more like Thor Ragnarok or Guardians of the Galaxy because that's what's hip, and I'm wearing a suit, and I've never watched Masters of the Universe ever, but I know what's best, so don't go that route. That's guaranteed.
Are you a Goyer fan?
Not necessarily, no.
But what he said here.
Yes, I was actually. If you go back in any broadcast about Goyer, I'm like, I'm not really excited about him because I never heard his vision on it. That's the vision. You tell me that you see the Lord of the Rings meet Star Wars, you got my vote. You get it.
Yeah.
You get it. But like they Sony, the company that's making it, doesn't get it.
This is
we
what-
don't need Thor Ragnarok again. We don't need Guardians. We have those already.
Yeah.
We have those.
This is what worried me, though. As much as that sounds great, and I'm wondering if it's more. So he says, and there was all kinds of stuff in there. You could have divided up that script into 3 movies, and it would have worked.
I want
Now,
that
but one script, and he says, oh, we could have done 3 movies. Is that too much in there? And you got to spread it out. Maybe then take it and go, you know what? This is going to be a trilogy. I know we were talking about this shit.
But I'm just.
I know.
They're gonna blow this movie.
How bad?
It's gonna stink.
If this movie does end up going, do you think it's gonna?
They're gonna
God,
try,
I
it's gonna be a Thor Ragnarok ripoff, Guardians ripoff.
And so
It's
therefore,
they're gonna try to go
is it not
stupid
going to
humor.
do? Are we going to lose it? Is it not going to do well?
I don't know. It depends.
Yeah,
They
it's
can
so
still,
hard
they
to-
can still
and-
maybe they hit it, but it's just not the tone that should be in.
At least they're not asking for hamburgers.
I hope they don't do this. That's true. I hope they don't do the same thing with Flash Gordon when they do Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
Because I know Matthew Vaughn was supposed to be doing that. Is that still going down?
I don't know. I haven't heard about that in a little
Haven't
bit.
heard in a while.
Yeah, what's going on with that? I know that the last he was asked, he was kind of holding on
I
it.
thought they did. No.
Last they asked him, he said that that there was nothing going
There
on.
was
with it.
news.
Wasn't it the Overlord director?
Yes. There
you're right.
it is.
You're right.
Julius
Schmodown.
Avery.
Thank you, Schmodown.
That's right. Flash Gordon
Vaughn
movie
was
is off
on
the
it.
ground.
He was off. And now, yes.
When
what's
was
going
that?
on recently?
Yeah, I just found this.
It was right
article.
before
Where's the
Overlord came
timestamp?
out. So Overlord came out what, in like October?
Yeah, and right around there on Halloween
After.
2018, the Flash remake has picked up Julius
you're right.
Avery. He's in line to write and direct.
Right. Okay. Cool.
That's good because I finally saw Overlord.
Awesome.
I still haven't
so
seen
great.
it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's awesome. I
Just
love that movie.
That movie
And I, was,
hit-
and I thought the movie was going to stink. I
That
loved it.
movie's like a war movie, and then it hits a moment.
That's
guess
why I
maybe
liked
I'll
it.
and he
see
just,
it.
and there's
Yeah.
this dude that just goes.
No, don't say.
Yeah,
it.
and
Don't
I
say
go,
it.
oh, now we're talking.
Here's why. Because when I saw the trailer for that movie, it opens up, and I'm a big World War II like buff, right?
Yeah.
So I'm waiting. Another good World War II movie, and the way that the trailer cuts, it's like, oh, it's this zombie movie inside of this World War II movie that happens, right? And they're not even going to take the war part serious at all. That is not the case. It is a war film until it's not.
Wow,
Yes.
nobody's pitched it to me like that,
That-
yet.
that's what it is.
Because
It's-
I'm a huge World War II buff
It's
as
a
well.
World War II movie until it's not. And when it's not, it's fun as hell.
Yeah.
And because they ease you into it. Because they ease you into it through the story. And then he's like, okay, get ready for it. It's not like so outrageous that it's like, no, get ready for it. There's things happening, boom, 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 now it's Crazy Town.
Yes.
And by the time Crazy Town happens, you're like, okay, I'm
and
on
you're
board.
in because you've been led to that moment, and
Yeah.
then you accept it right away.
Yeah.
And it's like I was saying, this is a lovely nod to a B movie, but without it being a B movie.
Right. I left that movie saying, because of the Flash Gordon was announced like I think a week before.
Probably a week, yeah.
And I remember thinking, that's why can't believe I didn't remember it. But your hair looks great. But I said to myself, this to me makes sense that this guy's doing Flash Gordon, because if he can stay in that type of tone to where, again, take it serious but still crack a couple jokes at yourself throughout the movie, that's Flash Gordon. That's okay. Because the 1980 Flash Gordon movie it's campy as hell, and if you didn't see it as a kid, it's hard to really get on board with unless you really explained the understanding. It was an answer to Star Wars, even though Star Wars was based on Flash Gordon. It was an answer. The film was an answer to Star Wars that just never panned out because they didn't really know how to make it. It's ridiculous. It was pretty much like we were just talking about with this Masters of the Universe thing. It's like, we can take this out to space. We'll make a guy a football player, and we'll do this. And they didn't see. Star Wars took itself very seriously, and as if everything inside of that in New Hope, that it lived there, that you'd seen it before. This stuff was all going down. Whereas Flash Gordon, and I love Flash Gordon, but it was trying to be an answer to Star Wars, and it was trying to be a space movie, and it's ridiculous and wonderful as a B movie, but not the best. Okay, anything else going on?
We'll talk about the Marvel thing, but I just want to get your thoughts.
Yeah.
They did cast the new Candyman, and Jordan Peele's who's producing Remake.
Who is it?
It is Yahya Abdul Mateen II.
And what was he in?
He was an Aquaman. He was Black Manta.
He was Black Manta. Black Manta. Wow.
And they're touting it now. Variety is saying it is going to be a spiritual sequel to the original. So
What was
they'll
he
just
in
probably pick up.
before? Was it Lost, or was he was in something else before this? Before our Aquaman as well.
I'm looking it up right now,
fans-
but there was a lot of fans on board with this, and everybody was really excited, saying great casting.
And speaking of Aquaman, so they officially greenlit number
and they
2. Right?
they greenlit part 2 for 2020.
Okay, 2020.
Not 2020. Sorry, 2022.
Whoa.
That's a question that I pulled from
2022. That's a bit out.
From Live.
it's because they already have their entire slate through 21.
By the time the movie comes out, it's almost 4 years later.
Yeah, is that too long?
Might
because that was a question.
4
Sorry,
years?
you know who you are.
When in 2022? November.
December.
That's 4 years away. I mean, from when the first one came out.
Yeah. Wow.
That's huge.
It won't be
three is like the standard of it's the long wait. 2 is like what it has been now. It's like, okay, let's do 2.
Yeah.
But 4?
That's interesting.
Yeah, December 16, 2022. They've greenlit it.
Wow.
It doesn't appear that James Wan has signed on just yet.
He will, but
he will.
Here's the positive with 4
trying
is
to
that they're gonna. It gives Juan a lot of time to get it right, however he wants to do it.
I think that's what he wants.
That's what I'm saying.
But
the trench will be before that.
I think that's what they're doing. Yeah, and then. Well, there's other DC movies that I guess they have coming out.
I mean, obviously we've got
4
Shazam
years.
coming up. We've got,
Wonder Woman.
Suicide Squad 2. We've got
Right.
Wonder Woman. We've
Batman
got
was dated. Okay.
Emancipation of one Miss Fabulous Harley Quinn, or whatever the
There
name
it
of her
is.
Birds of Prey movie is called.
we got Superman, Man of Steel 2. Oh, no, we don't.
No, but we do have the Batman. So we've got some stuff going on.
When will we get the casting for the Batman? Do we think?
Oh,
When does it
that's
start
a good-
shooting?
The end of this year.
End of this year, and it comes out next year.
No.
In 2021,
Oh.
I believe.
Okay,
Let me see.
It's all very confusing. to
I
me.
know that it's because how many times have we gotten news about a DC movie and then it just kind of disappears? June 25th, 2021.
Not as much recently.
No, because I've said this. I said this on Movie Talk.
It took them a while to find their groove. I think they've hit their groove.
I don't know
And
because
now
we're
start
still.
to watch it go.
Remember when 2 weeks ago everybody said that Armie Hammer was cast as Batman, and then everybody
was-
says
That's rumors, though. That is not.
Well, somebody
but
claimed it as
still
an as an
different
exclusive.
mouthpieces.
Yeah, but that's not a DC problem.
Kind of.
Why?
Because I just feel like because they don't have one mouthpiece, people are taking information from all over the place.
It's not their fault. That's everybody else to decide. When they have official announcement, they'll have it. That's not on them.
I don't agree.
No,
Why is that on them?
Totally agree.
Why is that on them?
Because they're.
I think it's
we
on
have
them.
to, we have to have
Can I
somebody.
answer the question?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's on them, the fact that they have not had it together with how they're releasing information. So people are thinking that this is the same as that. It's the present is being affected by the past. And until they put enough space between that, and trust me, I'm a massive DC fan and I'm listening to where things are coming from. But because the masses aren't, they're still relating this to what was happening with, say, I don't know, The Flash, where we had 4 different writers, directors.
Right.
First they were in, then they were out.
That's way different.
I agree that it's different, but I think that it is on them that was happening then, and now people are assuming that's what's happening now.
You're saying they should control the narrative a little bit more?
No, but
for
what
sure
I'm
think that.
saying is that it's different in the fact that like they don't need to control, because the difference with that is that they had people attached to a movie. Armie Hammer was never attached to this thing. They never came out and said, like for The Flash, they said this person is going to be on this project.
The information wasn't coming from them.
What that they were dropping out?
Yeah, at first.
Like they were dropping out. That's what I'm saying. But
it wasn't always coming from them. They have not been the
I know.
mouthpiece for the information that has been accurate.
I know, but the thing is, that those people were announced to be part of the movie in the first place, right? Then whoever went and said, okay, listen, are these people in the movie? Yes, Warner Brothers confirmed that these people are in the movie, right? And then they dropped out. There was a problem there. This was never a thing that Armie Hammer was part of it.
When you're saying Warner Brothers confirmed, that step has not been taking place. Warner Brothers has confirmed that step has not been taking place.
I know that. That's not. But I'm talking about for The Flash. It was
after a very long time.
But it still was. So this is just a rumor from a place that said Armie Hammer might be. It has nothing
they
to
said
do.
Final negotiations.
That's what I mean.
So that was a scoop that was way off.
Right.
Yeah,
so
really off.
But right. So Warner Brothers, who I think is doing it right, and DC doing it right, like let's say even if he is in final negotiations, we're not going to talk to you about it.
Totally.
There's nothing.
But we need a mouthpiece. People need to be able to trust where the information is coming from.
I think that's just a separate. I think it's a separate conversation for this particular thing. That you're going to hear rumors all the time. There's rumors about Star Wars that happen all the time. You don't have to.
But people trust that Star Wars is going to come out with information, and they don't trust that with DC.
Yeah, I mean, I understand where you're going with it, but I think that that's impossible. That's like saying like, hey, don't Christian and Roxy, you guys are in charge of people talking on the internet. Like they can't.
No, I'm not
cannot,
saying
you
that.
cannot let them make those comments in the Collider Live chat.
In no way am I saying that they're in charge of that, because they shouldn't be in charge of what rumors come out. They have to be in charge of how they give information, which they haven't been in the past.
Yeah, but I don't think
so
that
people
these
aren't
two
trusting
relate.
it.
I agree with what you're saying, but I don't think these two things relate.
I don't see how you couldn't think they relate.
Yeah, it's difference of opinion.
That's true.
All right. What's next?
We do have Kevin Feige kind of confirming where the timelines might be set in some of these Marvel
TV
Disney
shows.
Plus TV shows.
Okay, hit me.
Yeah.
What do we got?
People have been so curious about this.
Okay.
So
they are saying, Kevin Feige is saying that some of them will take place in the past, but this is all. But the big point here is yes, all in the MCU. So some in the past, some in present, and some in the future. We don't know which, but we could kind of.
Loki, obviously, in the past.
That's what I'm wondering.
Necessarily.
But not necessarily.
You don't think so?
Until
I do think so,
I
but it's
see
not necessarily.
Endgame, and
Right.
whether or not he's dead and stays dead. I'm gonna be like, because I would love to see what Loki does after all this.
I would rather see him when he's pissed off and bad. I
don't think he'll ever go that straight and narrow being good. So
no, he's
he'll
not
get back
good.
to his.
The most good he was when he sacrificed himself for his brother with Thanos. I mean, that was
that's what was beautiful.
That to me was his most.
It was.
I
loved it.
I loved it. He shows that throughout a lot of the movies, right?
Yeah.
Like he always has but he's always trying to get his brother killed and do crazy shit to him too. That's just the nature of who Loki is. But Loki in the first Avengers was evil. I mean, he was
Straight
bad.
up.
And I liked seeing that, and even in the first Thor, right? I like seeing that pissed off. I was adopted. You take care of this motherfucker. Like I'm.
So maybe the early days of Loki.
Yeah.
That's what I was assuming was going to
So
happen.
we would need Chris Hemsworth because they were fine until the events of Thor.
Right.
What do we think about? What's the other one? They have Black Widow, or what is the?
No, they have
Scarlet
Witch
sorry.
and the Vision, and then Falcon.
When do we think
and
that is
Bucky.
going to be? Scarlet Witch and Vision. When do you think that is?
That's got to be present, don't you think?
I don't know.
And present meaning, what were they doing during the events, like after Civil War, leading into Infinity War?
Yeah, I mean that's the beauty of the MCU is that you can place it into, hey, it's in between Iron Man 2 and 3.
Right.
Hey, it's in between the first Guardians and this and that. And there's a big timeline. So.
If it's a limited series,
And they are, yeah. They're just going to be 10, maybe, I heard 10 episodes.
Right.
Maybe 6.
This is exciting
8.
stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's the mini movies for sure.
Yeah.
But what
So-
about Falcon and Bucky?
Don't know.
That's where I say future.
That'll be close. Yeah, that one to me will be after
think
the
has
events.
to be.
Yeah.
You know what I thought about yesterday? That I forgot when we were talking about it last week. Speaking of Chris Hemsworth, the Hulk Hogan movie, and how it's going to be. Do you have a chance to talk about it with us? I don't remember if you did. But if it was, but it's a kind of a glossy. It'll be a glossy movie for Hogan, because he's producing it, and so it could be a little bit vanilla. The one thing though that we didn't take into consideration, the other thing, because if it takes place up until 1984 when he becomes the star that he is. That's when they said it's the rise to Hulkamania leading up to his first title shot. That's what it was. The other thing we didn't take into consideration was how much the business changed because of Hulk Hogan, because of Rocky III, because of Vince McMahon, right? You can't do a Hulk Hogan movie and not have Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Now, Vince McMahon is going to be in his own movie, but that's another going to be glossy movie by WWE, right? There's only so much that Vince is going to let you see. But in Hulk Hogan's movie, you could see that side of the business and the rise of the WWE. It could be the rise of the WWE as much as it is the rise of Hulk Hogan, because the two kind of correlate together. So it's something I didn't think about. It's like, yeah, we are going to see the rise of Hulkamania, but we could see the rise of the WWF at the time, as it was called. You know, we didn't really think about that.
We talked slightly about it, and then I think Josh asked you who you would want cast as Vince. And then we were talking about how he would be younger, because Josh was throwing out 70-year-old people.
Right.
He'd be somebody in their 30s probably.
I just think it could be an origin story for both Hogan and the WWE.
Right. So you think, what would you then think would be different? The title? You think that they would have
You
to
still call it Hulk or Hogan or Hulk Hogan, whatever you want to call it, because it's still going to be his story. But I think
that sounds more interesting though, to watch the two guys at the same time and how that.
Because you gotta cover Vince, because Vince was the one who saw. And this is the thing that I, yesterday, going back to that conversation we had earlier about the wrestling talk, too. I'm not asking you to watch wrestling. I'm not asking you to go and watch Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. What I'm telling you is try to, as creative people, try to watch like the business itself, and watching, like, if you're interested in business and you're interested in the way movies are made or television shows are made, you should be interested in the way that this guy built an empire.
100%. Part of my, legitimately, maybe my favorite thing of being a host over the last 10 years has been learning about different aspects of this industry, things that I never thought I'd be interested in. I mean, before I met you, I wasn't even interested in DC. You find things and you find what you love and you find interesting parts of it, even if you don't love the WWE. You can't deny what they've done.
Right.
You can't deny that they've created a beast of an empire.
It was, and that's what I'm so fascinated to see, and if they show it inside this movie, because they could show you Vince, like I said, once again, Vince McMahon, who went against everything that the old school dogs were telling him to do. Like, it was all territorial, everything. You know, there were people that were set up in Memphis, and then there were people set up. He had the East Coast, so it was like the powerful. It's, you know, like I said, it was like the mob families. You know, and then he said, no, we're just making it all one big family. But he did it by using Hogan. He was smart, and he looked, and like that. It would be so amazing to see whoever plays Stallone, if they get him in Rocky III, right? And you have him, and then you have him recreating that Rocky III scene, and then Vince McMahon looking and going, get him back, and give him the title.
Yeah.
And it's like, because that whole moment, those chain of events, that created what we had, this mega empire. All these stars were born because of it. And as much shit as Hogan gets, as you know, there's a lot of shit that he did that he should get a ton of shit and then some. But for what he did in his early career, he's like, you know, that's why I always, when people ask me, who's your Hogan in Schmodown? And it's Roca, because Roca was the one who took the character, and I said, hey, I want to see if we can infuse character inside of this thing. And he did it. And then you get your Andrew Guys and Batemans and Lon Harris and Kalinowski, like everybody, you know, Janine the Machine, like they all come after Roca, and they all came after Hogan. You know, so that's kind of where that's kind of why it was like fascinating.
Cool.
It's fascinating to me.
Do you think because Brad Donovan from Collider Live's post is wondering what the movie would be, like this meets this? He's hoping for Star Wars meets Lord of the Rings
for
the Hulk Hogan.
That's a pretty
movie,
accurate description. Yeah.
Vince comes in a ship dressed like Man at Arms.
Yeah, right. He just flies in on a
definitely
hovercraft.
takes place on Tatooine, so you know.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we're almost done. Look at this. All right, let's do Cody. You want to open up the phone lines for one call?
Sure, give me a minute.
Thank you, Cody.
All right, guys, call in.
All right, so what else is going on in there? Any other questions, comments, concerns?
I mean, there's just this.
Don't ask concerns.
Again, got to reiterate how great you guys are. There's a lot to go through, and it's
Good.
fun,
It's
and I want that.
That group is because what my days normally were if I was going through the social media, check Twitter, check Instagram. And by the way, please go to the Schmodown Apple Podcast and subscribe there. If you're not a patron, look. First of all, we have over 4,200 patrons now, and God bless every single one of you. You guys keep us on the air.
Oh yeah, I want to talk to you about that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
You're
but
growing like crazy.
And what I want to tell people though too, I understand. I can't afford to be a patron. I get it. But please go and hit that subscribe button to the Apple Podcast, the Schmodown feed, because it helps. It's going to help us continue to get more. We have a new partner in Himalaya. You can go get the podcast there in Himalaya. Himalaya has been helping us out, so go and check us out over there. Okay, what's next?
Yeah.
Do we have a call?
Do we have a call?
We don't.
It's the
They're
first
all
time
on the
I've ever-
page right now.
Cody, you failed us.
Chase
Wow.
Eichler. It started. The Jay and Silent Bob reboot is filming now. Are you guys excited for this?
I am. I'm
cautiously optimistic.
I don't care if it's bad. I'll still be happy because it's one of those things. I've actually had the pleasure now of interviewing and having a 2-hour conversation with Kevin Smith, just in the hallway here, and we're now it's to the point where I see him, we recognize each other, and I can have a conversation. I'm blessed that I'm able to do that because he's been an idol of mine for a long time. But I remember seeing him before I had a chance to do that, and I saw him at the ArcLight, and he was there with Jay Muse, and they were going to buy. They were there online to get concessions. I loved Mallrats so much. I was about to go. You know what? I'm going to go up there right now and say, whatever he's got, and that's huge bucks, but whatever he's got, it's on me for Mallrats. I was going to do it. It was right about as I was going to walk up and say it, and then him and Jay, he looks, he goes, let's go to the one upstairs. I'm like, and then, but I remember going to do that because I loved Mallrats so much. Mallrats is I loved Clerks. I saw Clerks very young, loved it, thought it was brilliant. But Mallrats to me, and he was the first, not first, but he was the shared universe guy.
Yeah,
he's been doing that for a long time.
He was.
So to see this come back, what's soft reboot? So what are they going to actually do? Is there a story behind it?
I don't know, but everybody's in it. I mean, they brought back Jason Lee. I don't know about Ben Affleck, but Jason Lee. I can't remember the actor's name who led Clerks, but he's in it. Obviously Jay Muse, Kevin Smith, but Brody.
Brian, what's his name?
Yeah,
Brian Hicks.
That's
Brian
Hicks?
Right.
Yeah.
Brian Hicks.
But a lot of people were excited because
Schmodown, Cody.
Mallrats Brian
Close.
O'Halloran.
Why did I
yes.
say Brian Hicks?
That's one of the characters.
But Mallrats.
Dante Hicks, asshole.
Mallrats will
Not you,
be
me.
featured in this because you're seeing Brody's comic book shop. It was an image he shared on Instagram.
Love
so
it.
that's
I
great.
love Jason Lee's comeback.
I'm a Chasey Namey guy. That's my
Yeah,
favorite.
Chasey Namey's really good. Yeah.
That's where
What
he
year
really...
did it come out? Trivia question. I can tell you this one. Cody, look it up just in case I'm not wrong.
1998.
That's correct.
Okay. Thank God.
That's correct.
Wow, I did it.
That is not correct.
What?
According to Wikipedia, it's 97.
Oh, wait, you
One
know what?
year off.
You're right. It is 97.
Was it
No,
limited
it is
release in
97.
97?
No, it
All
was
right.
97. Yeah, you
Hey.
lost the point. 2 points. All right, anyway. Okay, look, so go on. Today is Wednesday. Tomorrow, the official to the public, the Odd Couple and Scream Queens match will be released. You'll find out if Roxy is going to Chicago or if she's going to be upset on Friday.
I find out who I'm playing.
Yep, and then Friday, Kalinowski and Cushing drops go over to the Schmodown channel. But you guys should subscribe to Collider and make sure that if you look at all the other great stuff they have going on here and make sure on Apple Podcasts you subscribe to this feed, leave comments, go to the Facebook group, and get that discount code. Get 20% off the free-for-all. We'll catch you tomorrow.